Why, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of RaC Champs. Today I have a very special guest on the mic. You may know him, you may love him, you may know his full name. I am joined today by Andy. Andy, what is going on today, dude? Oh, let me pull this off.
You may know my full name.
You may know his full name. It's great to have you here, Andy. For those of you who don't know, Andy has been a vital member of the RaC Champs team now for some time, and it's great to have you on the mic here today.
It is great. Is that just on my screen that my cam looks like shit?
It also looks like shit on my end. Okay, there we go. Now it's fake. You weren't kidding about those curtains, by the way. They're really something.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is if I have them open, like it's like a ray of light just straight at the screen most of the time. So.
Yeah. Here, Andy, I'm gonna turn you up a bit on my end. You're a little quiet.
Go ahead.
Let me know.
Shout well the whole 2 hours if that helps.
That would help a lot.
Scream.
If you could just scream constantly.
Okay. I might like wait until Sneep's doing ILJs and then scream.
Yeah, just yell as loud as possible.
Yeah.
Is there any way to turn it up just a little bit on your end, like natively?
I can see. I can have a little look. But I expect the answer is a fat no, to be perfectly honest.
Well, that's okay. If worse comes to worse, I'll be twice as loud to make up for it. We have a very interesting matchup for today, don't we, Andy?
It is a matchup, that's for sure. It is an interesting one.
Of all the matchups that have ever happened in RaC Champs history, this is one of them.
It is statistically one of the matchups. It's unbelievable that we get that stat out here today.
Yeah, so today is day 2 of Sneepy's gauntlet run. For those of you unaware, Sneepy does have to run against every single runner back to back to back to back over the next 4 days. This is day 2. And so as we see here, today he's up against IzzyBeira. Izzy coming off of a win on Mukka. He is one of the 3 runners. So in the week before Sneepy was able to be here, Scottobozo went 3-0. Everyone else went 1-2. Izzy is one of the people with 1 win and 2 losses on the board. Looking to take what I would consider probably an upset win over Sneepy today. That's what he would like. I think Sneepy, statistically speaking, is the favorite. So if you're getting your predictions and if you like your odds on Sneepy, you can put your points in there. But if you believe in the dark horse, you can always go for Izzy. Izzy's got some schmoves. And honestly, Izzy's PBs do not tell the full tale. I truly believe that.
No, absolutely. I mean, we're looking at Size Matters and SM. That's the same thing. No, we're looking at Size Matters, and they are basically neck and neck. I'd see there's an asterisk next to Sneak, but for all intents and purposes, that could go completely either way, I think. Obviously, the big discrepancy being Tools of Destruction. It's just not Izzy's strong suit at all. But RaC 1, you may think, there's a 10-minute difference in RaC 1. That category is wild, AGB. Like, 10 minutes can be nothing, right? All it takes is for Sneep to get walled on a couple of planets, which can absolutely happen, and we have a really tight race.
Yeah, and I would also go so far as to say that Izzy has shown a significant degree of proficiency in this category, beyond the level, like far beyond the level of his official PB. You may be seeing his PB at an hour 30 minutes. You would be saying, well, Izzy just has no chance in Todd. Well, Izzy hasn't completed a run of Todd since this tournament began because this isn't, nobody's completing runs if they lose. But I would say Izzy's no worse than a 45-minute run. Like that's like the absolute worst I see him pulling off.
I think in his first race he was having a really hard time getting off the first couple of planets, maybe. But I think in one of his performances he did get kind of a decent amount into the game, I seem to remember. So he's an hour 30 is definitely way over what his actual time could be.
Yeah, so it creates a bit of a situation where Sneepy, it's going to put the pressure on him a little bit because, no one wants to lose a match to somebody whose official PB is an hour slower than theirs. So If Sneepy starts to mess up a couple things, and Todd should have come down to that, it could be potentially a little rough mentally for Sneepy to recover. But regardless, we are not focusing on Todd at the moment. The runners have decided on RaC 1, but before we pull up their feeds, I do want to take one quick look at the standings here, just so that everybody is aware of what's going on here. So as you can see, like we said, this is the Sneepy gauntlet, because Sneepy has not done any of his matches yet. He was on vacation last week with his family. God love him. And we've got some very, very interesting situations formulating here in the bracket. The only person who is guaranteed to not make it into the final two right now is Muckemannen. After the 0-2 loss to Sneepy yesterday, he is out of contention. And the only person who is guaranteed to make the final two is Scottobozo with a 3-0 record right now. So, right now Sneepy's 1-0. Izzy and Tab are both 1-2. They're both looking to get some wins over Sneepy in the next coming days. So we're going to see how this plays out.
Yeah, so at this point, with how things have leveled off, for people other than Scotto to qualify, being Tab and Izzy, they both need wins versus Sneep. There's no way that they can lose to Sneep and then still qualify.
Mm-hmm.
I think for Tab in that scenario, he'd have to have Sneep get swept by both Scotto and Izzy here today. So it's quite unlikely.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, I think Sneep's a strong player, and he's definitely going to pick up some games here and there, regardless of if he wins the series.
Yeah. So it's going to be an uphill climb for both Izzy and Tab to be able to qualify at this point. But of course, they still have some agency. They can beat Sneepy here today, and then at that point, they kind of have to just hope that the tournament gods favor them. But yeah, so that's the way the bracket is starting to shape up here. We're looking to see who's going to join Scotto in the final two. But for right now, before we can even think about what's going to happen later, we have to pull up the game feeds.
Game feed pull up. Let's go.
So apparently there's a destroyer up on Sneepy's screen, and no one really understands why it's up.
Why is the destroyer up?
Why? Yeah, for real. Why is it up? I think he may have fucked himself. We'll have to see. He's got to really clutch this out right now. And
it's not quite the right button, Sneep. Oh.
Yeah, not quite the right one.
Oh. No, you weren't on the button, so it didn't end. Oh.
Actually, funnily enough, that will cancel out the direct skip, I believe. But he still probably should. I think so. I think it actually does work that way, but I could be wrong.
It's tied to the cutscene, it's tied to the button going down.
Yeah, because I remember I have had runs in the past where I fake put down the button, and it messed up everything. We did it. We skipped Drek, everybody. Drek is gone. Crab's in the chat.
Oh, thank God.
But yeah, these runners have been getting their dirty pee in long enough. I suppose I will ask now if these runners are ready to go. And here we go. We get they're loading up now. We'll get some verbal confirmation in just a second.
I'm good to go now, yeah.
All right, there's Izzy. Sneep, how's it? You doing okay over there? I can hear him shuffling his mic, but I can't hear any words.
I think that may have been my mic shuffle.
Okay.
It wasn't me shuffling anything.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess it was just Andy. All right.
But yeah.
You're ready?
Yeah.
All right, Andy. If you
wait, no, I'm not ready.
Right, 3. No.
All right, we both good to go here? It seems as if that is the case. Go for it, Andy, whenever you're ready.
Right, boys. Ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so here we are. Once again, they have elected to start with RaC 1. I think neither of them really want this to start with anything else. I think Ratchet 1 was eventually going to have to decide this regardless, considering that Sneep is still heavily favorited in Todd. I think it's probably better for both of these runners that they start here in RaC 1. It'll be really good for Izzy if he can catch some momentum here, possibly even take a huge upset off Sneepy by winning this category.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think starting with RaC 1, it comes down to the fact that starting with Todd may not be the greatest first game, and no one wants to start with size matters. So
yeah,
so RaC 1's the choice. See, just going through Veldin, picking up some bolts, both relatively having a good bolt count from what I saw. I could be mistaken.
Yeah, and plus bolts aren't usually too much of a problem here anyway, which is really nice for both runners. I mean, obviously they're both going to want to get good RNG from this helicopter coming up here on after they're done with Novalis. They're going to want to get good RNG on the helicopter, but it looks like Sneepy got substantially better bolt RNG than Izzy did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Izzy is 100 bolts behind Sneepy, which is a bit unfortunate, but ideally with perfect helicopter RNG, that won't be too much of an issue. Although we're going to have to see here.
Yeah, you kind of have to low roll on both bolts on Veldin and on the helicopter to really have a serious issue, I feel.
Yeah.
Right. You can normally get saved by having good bolts in one of two of those areas, really.
Yeah. So
solid Novalis from both of them, though.
Yeah, they both hit the river skip pretty quickly there.
Yeah, and I think this is when I would like to categorize this tournament as being games with moments in them, where there are kind of down periods, and then there are moments of kind of deciding moments, if you'd like. You know, Size Matters has the bird and the golem. Todd has these like 3 or 4 of them, and AGB is just, you know, there's one every planet, right?
Yeah, but by the time this tournament is over, everyone will know, if nothing else, that Size Matters has the bird and the golem.
Because it's mentioned every single time.
Every single time. But yeah, so you can see here, I didn't get a good look at either of their helicopters because I accidentally minimized OBS for like 2 seconds.
Sneep got a pretty low roll there, right?
Yeah.
Like 1,050.
It seems
and
like...
so did Izzy, I think, really. 1,020 he had.
Yeah, I think Izzy's roll on the helicopter was a bit better than Sneepy's, and it kind of averaged out the RNG of the bolts, which is kind of funny.
Sure.
After all the data mining that we've ever done on bolts in this game, it's just so funny to think that what it really comes down to is that a lot of the bolt luck just evens itself out. But you can see here, they're actually still pretty close. This is going to be where Sneepy tries to break away from Izzy. You know, it's pretty easy to stay level with other runners when it comes to non-pack movement. But as soon as you can see the helipack coming into this run, you see Sneepy just kind of taking off like a bolt of lightning. He definitely has some of the more advanced movement of any of the runners of this game, as I want to say a top 3 runner of NG+, right? Isn't he?
I was just going to bring it up. Yeah, I think that NG+ kind of veteran aspect has really... Oh, Sneak taking a death on the train, though.
Yeah, very unfortunate stuff here. So Izzy will take the lead here real quick. I'll swap the audio, just so we can get, you know, whoever's in the lead here is always going to have prep.
Getting train skip as well.
Yeah. So this is a solid lead that Izzy's built up here. We're going to have to see how Sneepy can come back from this. Now, obviously, the race is still very young. We're only 4 minutes in, and you know, there's plenty of stuff, plenty of chances. But you got to be thinking Sneepy does not want to be... nobody wants to take an early deficit. It really sucks in these sort of formats to feel like you're playing from behind. Sneepy is going to miss train skip now here. He's going to lose even more time. Yeah.
How train skip works, for those who don't know, is you enter the cutscene and then have the guy fire a rocket at you, or there are some other ways of doing it as well, but this is the way you do it in any % categories, to essentially bump you out of the cutscene state so that you can continue to move during the cutscene. Yeah,
and the crucial mistake that Sneepy made there was that he accidentally hopped too far forward. He had to just hop like just far enough to activate the cutscene, but not too far so that the guy would walk backwards and not fire his missiles. So we see Izzy already on reload here. He's moving through. He doesn't quite have the same level of chain, so Sneepy can catch up a little bit here by having a better movement chain. But Izzy not making any real mistakes here thus far. I mean, it's going to come down to Jankpot here. If he can get a solid Jankpot, he can start to put the pressure on, really establish a lead.
Yeah, Sneep reloading. Not a very funny face. That's like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, you know, A for effort at the very least.
Yeah, he went for it. Jankpot looks to be going alright for Izzy so far. It's going to be these next bombs that he does not want to pick up any of these bolts before all of these crates are broken. It looks like
that should be good enough.
Did miss that one crate, but I don't think that matters too much because you've still got the Jankpot.
Yeah, not the best RNG on these bolts, unfortunately. And you know, that crate, while he did miss one, it shouldn't influence it that much. I think he just got some really low rolls. Sneepy traveling through time and space here on this stream.
Yeah, he's playing Ace-It right now. Like,
he is playing Ace-It. I can tell he just picked up the gold bolt, although it's this is very reminiscent of my last acid trip right here. This is about what it's like.
Okay. Thanks for the experience, I guess. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, of course. This is actually kind of wild. I'm kind of really enjoying watching this. I don't know how many bolts he got, but he's Sneepy.
Should we? How can we tell how many bolts he's got? It's like 4 pixels.
Yeah, this is really tough.
Oh,
but
gosh.
I'm assuming he did it okay, or else he would have reloaded.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
So we'll see how this is going.
This is getting worse as well on Sneep's stream. I don't know if there's anything we can do about it though.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
It's just awful.
We'll give it a little bit. We'll refresh the cache at the see if maybe that fixes it, but we'll wait until he gets to a load screen. Izzy already off on Eudora. Let us not forget that Izzy has a pretty clean lead at the moment. He's going to do everything he can here. He gets the in-level movie side flip.
I love that strat.
It's so cool. Yeah.
It essentially works the same as a PDA side flip as far as I'm aware, but you don't have the PDA, so you have to use the cutscene to get the grounded state.
Onetabloid in the chat rooting for Izzy. He wants Izzy to be able to create the upset here. He wants Izzy to put a little bit more pressure on Sneep, make his life a little bit easier. You see that competitiveness coming out from all of our contestants, even when they're not playing. So here comes Izzy on to Blarg now. This is I think this is gonna really start to shape up what the course of action here is for the early part of this run. I think Blarg is going to decide a lot. If one of these runners makes a big mistake on Blarg, that could be really difficult. Really, you know, put a lot of pressure on them. But Izzy getting the Blarg 2 skip here.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring it up. That was a very clean Blarg 2 skip. Just needs to get a good midair here. I don't think that's going to be good enough.
Yeah,
I think
that's
Izzy
not quite.
Izzy knows that and is going to dip out of that attempt to get on top of the ship there, and instead just default back to the clank section, which is, I think, very wise. Just about getting that ledge grab there.
Oh my god, my heart! Just watching
dude,
that
was really close. That was.
I've never seen either of those ledge grabs, and they both scared the shit out of me.
That was really smart to kind of know straight away that you're not going to make the initial jump, so
yeah,
go straight back up.
Izzy electing to take a load there. I don't know if Izzy knows that you don't have to actually load there. I think you can just death abuse, unless there's something that I don't know about.
Is there maybe a cutscene in the clank section? That's the only thing I can think
of.
Maybe
he hit the trigger. Yeah, that's a good point. He must have hit the cutscene.
The only thing I can think of.
Yeah, there is a checkpoint that he hit. And I know exactly where it is now that I think about it. So yeah, unfortunate mistake from Izzy, but you know, obviously not the most run anything. It is going to relatively equalize the position here, though. Izzy's only got a tiny lead now on Sneepy. Although Sneepy is out of bombs, which could create some problems for him in a little bit here.
Yeah, is he looking good on bombs? Kind of making sure not to hardlock here.
Yeah,
softlock, whatever it is. I think hardlock, right?
Yeah, hardlock is when it crashes. Yeah.
Yeah. I just couldn't remember if it was a crash or if the game was just like, yeah, you can't continue. Sorry. Try again.
Yeah. So we see here that they're literally only one room apart now. But Izzy's still trying to keep Sneepy at an arm's length. A little bit under on bolts though. Very, very low. This is not where you want to be. You
want to be at least another couple hundred up, really, don't you? You you want to be healthily on 4K going into Rilgar, right? Because you need 4K for the bouncer, whatever his name is.
Yeah, the Benjamin.
The bodyguard, not the bouncer, the weapon. We're not going there, right? That's
Yeah, wrong game, wrong attitude, frankly.
absolutely, completely agree.
Izzy having a very Zem-esque AGB blarg, just barely living with only 1 health.
He was on 2 health for the entirety of that, for the frog room and all of that area. So that was a bit monks.
Ooh, Sneepy definitely getting a better ratchet here than
bringing
Izzy
it
did.
back here. The eyes being all wonky and everything. Oh, that's a solid 8.5. Solid 8.5.
Are you a fan of the Olympics, Andy? Have you been watching much of that?
I've been watching a bit of it, yeah, here and there. It's a bit of an awkward time for a UK watcher, so
that's fair. Yeah, it's pretty awkward here in America as well. But I still try to catch the highlights when I can. But I do watch a lot of the diving events lately, and
yeah.
It just reminds me of when you say 8.5, like me being like a fat slob eating Doritos on my couch, like watching someone
I'm like holding 8.5 card.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
We kind of just talked about the Olympics over Sneep getting Cineflips and Izzy getting the ILJ chain on Rilgar and completely evening things up, maybe giving Sneep a slight lead.
Yeah, Sneep has a slight edge here coming up to the frog truck. Of course, we did graze over that. That's my bad. I got us on that subject. But I still regret nothing. Sneepy, one of the most consistent Cineflippers in the business, showing his stuff. I mean, it looked a little close, but close still counts when it comes to Cineflips as long as you actually get there. Sneepy did kind of fall off a little early here, but he's still going to be able to ledge grab and then come on up to the bolt. So, yeah, Sneepy with maybe a barely 10-second lead, not even.
Maybe not even quite that. But again, that amount of time in this category is essentially negligible. We can say for all intents and purposes that they are tied.
Yeah.
Right? Because just even the tiniest of mistakes can just lead to a death. And I think that categorizes the RaC series very well in general. But, and those deaths are costly.
They really are. Yeah, especially early on here in the game. Like any death that is later on, mistakes don't usually lead to deaths with the PDA, but early on when you don't have the PDA, any mistake will usually mean some sort of 10-second time loss bare minimum.
I'd say especially in AGB as well, where you're going all the way across the planet without the PDA movement, often taking 30 seconds to get there, a death, then resetting you all the way back. They can be really, really costly.
Yeah, and Izzy caught up a little bit of time by having a better movement chain getting to the bolt, but unfortunately loses a bit of time getting to the racetrack bolt. So Sneepy will have a decent-sized lead here now going into Umbris. And normally Umbris is a bit of a vibe check for a lot of the runners.
Yeah,
Sorry, I just saw that the chat is chanting a part of my sentence. My chat's a little addicted to chants right now, but I can't necessarily say I blame them.
Cool.
Regardless, while this plan is usually a bit of a vibe check, both of these runners are very capable at doing infinite long jumps. So I don't expect this to wall anybody like we saw Muckemannen getting a little bit walled not too long ago in one of his previous matches. Both of them should be able to clear this relatively easily.
Sneep getting that first gold bolt after the initial ILJ train. We'll see. Is he going for the same thing here?
Yeah.
Getting ghost ratchet with a swing shot here. Is he gonna have to go for the backup one? That's fine. And so getting ghost ratchet, letting you go through walls, and importantly for Umbris as well, removing the speed cap, which make your ILJs so much faster, especially going over to the boss. I don't know exactly how many ILJs until you'd normally hit the speed cap, but I don't think it's many.
It's really not. It's actually nearly instantaneous.
I was going to say it's got to be 2 or 3.
Yeah, I for those of you who don't know, there is actually a speed cap when you don't have Ghost Ratchet. A lot of you may not realize that because you see runners going so quickly. You think that they're just building speed forever, but I believe if this game is any similar to Ratchets 2 and 3, the speed cap is 0.43 meters per second velocity.
Is he just walking off, just going for that ILJ?
Very, very rough there, but Izzy does have this. Yeah. We'll see here. Ooh, nearly dropping the chain there.
Dude, Izzy's a chap. Dude,
yeah.
I was gonna bring up that I played RaC 1 the other day and that I got shipped to boss first try, but it just pales in comparison to the fact that Izzy's just like, yeah, I fucked up, I'm just gonna do it now. Oh.
It's something you gotta have in your back pocket, especially.
You have to have it in your back pocket.
Yeah. Like, even you can see here, Izzy not even at the sub-hour mark in the category and still has that. It just goes to show, like, you have to be ready to roll with any situation this game gives you, and very masterfully done by Izzy there. Sneepyy, of course, keeping that lead growing just a bit on each individual section, saving a second here, a second there. Yeah. And now he's got a pretty decent-sized lead going here into the middle part of Battalia. You can see he's picking up some bolts. He's got good bolt RNG here as well. You know, you want to have, like, around 1,500 by the time you're exactly where Sneepyy is. He's going to break these crates. He's going to be at around 1,700 now. And he's basically going to be in the clear going into the next section, or the final section. He's going to break a couple sets of crates, and he's going to be looking pretty good. He should be well over 2,000.
Yeah, going to be going for the SI here in a second. That's really, I think everyone assumes this is just like a normal SI. Like, you can SI up this whole surface and they just jump in the way they do just because, right? No, those tiny little spots that you're going to see Sneep jumping here, like on this plan up on that one ridge, those are very, very precise spots. There's a reason this wasn't found for a long time.
Yeah. 5 very specific SIs. And then right here, you have to have like a cute little double jump into a wrench swing, ideally. Well, you don't even necessarily need the wrench swing, so you can see right there, Sneepyy just kind of let Ratchet keep moving forward a bit. And
yeah, Sneepy normally going for a wrench swing there. I think Tab was saying the other day that Sneep's one of the only people who does a wrench swing there instead of just doing another SI, so yeah, maybe Sneep turning up the formula a little bit.
Yeah, evolving a bit. Evolving past 2017 strats. And we'll see. Sneepy is probably going to go for the tiptoes here. Yep, and that he is. Unfortunately messing it up.
Oh, what a save with the hyper strike, dude.
Very clinical save right there.
Hella clutch.
Yeah, that's you know, something, especially at Sneepy's level, you got to be able to hit those hyper strikes on demand. That is a must. So of course it's still not easy to hit those hyper strikes, especially under pressure, but making it look pretty easy. Not electing not to go for the ground ILJs, just wants to tap it in.
I don't blame him after messing up the tiptoes. I think he's just, get me to the end of this rail, dude. Just get me off. Get me to gas bar where I can have an easy SI or something, you know.
Yeah. So now finishing up here, he's going to be moving on to the Clank section. We're going to see how this fares for him today.
Izzy is so short on bolts. He's having to kill all these enemies just to get up to that 2k that he needs, and he's only just going to get there. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah. Izzy being chastised in the chat by Persona for grabbing the bombs in the cave. That is a very popular meme to dunk on people for it. Because you get a bunch of ammo anyway on gas bar. Let's see how Sneepy does here on the tree, though. Gets it second try. Very good stuff. And then he gets the clank eat. Gonna really put the screws on Izzy now. Gonna really try to force Izzy to play catch up here.
Yeah, Sneep getting that death abuse. When did we discover that was faster? Because that's another thing which it kind of initially we kind of just like walk all the way back to the ship and walk around and then we realized, well, actually it's faster just to walk backwards and die to the enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something which, if you're kind of watching speedruns now, you might think, yeah, well, why didn't you think of that? It's like when you've got something that works in these categories, there's no necessary reason to think, well, let's see if we can do it any faster.
Yeah.
Right? When it's something that's simple, you think, yeah, you just walk in a straight line. It's fine. That's all we can do.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. It like the hindsight bias is especially real in speedrunning, where answers seem super obvious when they've already been discovered. But it's the act of discovering them that's always the hard part. Sneepy sitting on plenty of bolts here. Let's see what he gets on this midair chain. This doesn't look good enough, so he will have to back it up.
I think that first midair was fine, and the second one was a little bit too weak, unfortunately. Going for the SI backup, which is, I think this is another integral thing for AGB runners to know, is that SI backup, and to know how to save it from like different angles and whatnot.
Very good stuff from Sneepy there. Oh, I'm sorry. Finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just because of how much of a wall that chain can be, getting over to this gold bolt.
Yeah, so Sneepy showing off. A lot of runners, I don't know how many runners actually know that backup. I don't see many people that ever really go for it.
Yeah.
But that is very essential. It was essential technology back in 2017 when I ran this category.
Yeah, because I mean there were just much worse runners like you.
Like me, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Sneep getting that SI there up to the bolt, and this is the ammo that Persona was talking about. I think like you just go right up to 40 bombs here.
Yeah.
Izzy I think had a little bit of trouble with the tree, but I think eventually getting it. So not disrespectful at all.
Yeah, just you know, it's right now Sneepy is pulling pretty decently ahead, as I think many people probably expected, considering that Sneepy's just a more experienced RaC 1 runner. But of course, you know, Izzy's still trying to keep this respectable. He's a couple minutes behind now at this point, but all it would really take is for Sneepy to get overconfident and have one stupid death here on Pokitaru, and it would actually be leveled out relatively quickly. So, you know, that's not to say that Sneepy is by any means in the clear. He will have to make sure that he's continuing to play at a high level.
Yeah, and Poki, another one of those planets where, you know, the deaths are just so costly, and, you know, having to go all the way back either to the start or to that second to last ship section, or the boat section, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just so punishing for what is already a really difficult section.
Yeah. And you can see both runners, Sneepy did it before and Izzy's doing it now, trying to collect as many bolts as they can here on this gas bar platform. Because you want to make sure that you're having roughly 1,400 here so that you can have plenty when you do the jank fish strategy that Sneepy just did over here on Pokitaru. Once again, for those of you who don't know what jank fish is, it's I think was this also discovered by Janky Lad? I don't know if that was also.
I don't know for sure. If it was, then no wonder it's named Jankfish. But I think it may have just been kind of named after Jankpot in the same vein. I don't know if it was necessarily discovered by Janky himself. Maybe someone in the chat can enlighten us, because I have no idea.
Yeah, apparently people are saying that it was Janky who discovered it, but it was the fundamental way that it works and why it works this way. I don't know if anybody truly knows or understands, but if you were on the boat, you'll see Sneepy do it here again really shortly. If you're on the boat and you're standing on the windshield, you hit you want to hit at least 2 fish with a wrench swing in first person. And then when you throw a bomb and kill 4 or 5 fish at the same time, they drop a gigantic amount of bolts. So you're going to see over here real quick as he's doing this, Izzy finishing up gas bar right now. Again, Sneepy has to be careful. He already took a couple hits from the fish before. He's fine on bombs, but these fish are a little tricky sometimes. So Sneepy, you can see here.
Especially going into this last section.
Yes.
They can really catch you off guard. Especially with how hard it is to calculate if your bomb's going to hit them or not. The area of effect of the bombs is kind of... I always look at it and think it's smaller than I expect. So I always think, oh, that's going to hit, and then it doesn't. Mm. And so the more experienced runners will, of course, have better calculations of that. But there's a reason why you don't use the bomb glove to kill these fish in NG+. Let's
Yeah,
put it that way.
absolutely. Yeah, it can be very tricky here. There is a couple safe spots, though. Sneepy electing not to take the safe spot. He just wants to go for it. Doing a good job thus far of dodging all the fish. Doesn't take a lick of damage. Doesn't even pick up the TNT crates. I don't even think runners really do that much anymore, but...
No, there's not that many bolts there, really, I don't think, right?
So, yeah, sitting pretty at 3,100 bolts here. Gonna have... Oh. That... Ooh, okay.
Is this just a death?
This is
Or is
not
there
going to be a death.
is it-
You can swim in this water and not...
Is there an SI backup Sneep's going for here?
I do not know of this SI, but apparently...
Neither does Sneepy by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Just gonna have to take the long swim back to the boat, unfortunately. And you know, this isn't even a death, and look how much time this is sinking. This is... we love Pokitaru, don't we? Everyone loves Pokitaru.
Yeah, if there's one planet that really unites all of us in the Ratchet and Clank community, it's all of our mutual feelings about Pokitaru and how much we love it. So many cool, exciting ways to lose runs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one day we'll be able to skip Pokitaru. That'd have a cool name, that skip, if we ever found it.
Yeah.
Or if we ever got it to work, I should say.
If only. I'm a staunch disbeliever in Pokeskip. I truly believe it will never happen. And if
Okay, so I remember several clips of you, Zem, saying, yeah, but early LDF will just never happen. It will never happen ever in Ouya. You said it for like 6 years, and then
yeah, but
it happened. So,
but it's not in the good category.
I mean,
I'm just saying
it still exists.
If we had one that didn't require us to cheat the game, that'd be pretty dope.
Hey, look, we don't know the full potential of Box Eats yet, or fucking Boxies, whatever we're calling
That's
it. That's
true. Yeah, it's not very relevant at the moment, but just so you all know, there is currently some new Up Your Arsenal technology being played with right now that are called Boxies, named after our queen, Boxy, of course. And so, did you know that Boxy, like a decade after she was popular, made like a bunch of YouTube videos again, like talking about her life?
Surprise me.
She apparently grew up to just be a very normal, well-adjusted person, and it was kind of cool to see. And she was like, "Yeah, I think I'm just done being on social media. I'm just gonna go." And then she stopped making videos, and we haven't seen her since.
Honestly, for the best.
Yeah. So you can call me. I am a true Boxy fan. I know the Boxy lore. Regardless, we have other things to talk about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Sneep actually finished a planet while we were talking there.
Yeah.
I didn't see what type of shit fight Sneep got. I wasn't really paying attention to the game. I was thinking about Boxy, dude.
Only the best conversations here on RaC Champs.
Only the best. Izzy taking a dip in the water there as well.
Yeah, they both just want to go swimming a little bit. I mean, it's the summertime. It's warm out. I don't know where it is for you, Andy. It's like 27 degrees here right now.
It was like ridiculously hot a couple of weeks ago. We were in the 30s a couple of weeks ago, but it's
Lord.
When you say 27 degrees, do you mean the proper degree?
I was trying to meet everyone at their level. I'm trying to be well versed. But yeah, you see Sneepy coming up here now. He got the I don't know which one's the socialist and which one's the...
ask.
Yeah.
It's the Eastern European one, isn't it? It's that block. Let's just leave it at...
Yeah, regardless, someone somewhere in Eastern Europe is very happy about what Sneepy has just done here. Look at that movement, schmooving through Orxon too.
Dude,
without,
that was slick.
Yeah, very, very slick stuff. But yeah, Izzy coming up here, finishing up totally out of bombs entirely, but just having enough to get through. And so we see here now Sneepy's going to try to hit this movement chain. Accidentally almost loads the game. Which I'm sure Sneepy it feels like overjoyed about. If there's one thing I know about Sneepy is that little tiny menu mistakes tilt the absolute shit out of him.
Yeah, that's a really nice out of bounds into movement chain to get that that gold bolt. The old strat was like, was it a really precise either like IJ what SI or like there was a Hydro Strike strat? I
Oh,
believe?
we had an even cooler strat than that. What you do is you double jump just directly like to the side of the platform, and then you do a ground pound and just pray that you
Ground
grab
pound,
the
that's
ball.
it. It's like you need to get up to this ledge.
Yeah,
Why?
if you were a chump, you worried about like potentially dying there, but no one who was worth their salt at that game actually died. Sneepy messing up the infinite long jump strat. I don't know if anyone's actually gotten this infinite long jump strat first try yet this tournament. Sneepy dying once again. He does have an entire Orxon 2 worth of lead over Izzy, so he's probably not feeling too pressured about hitting this, but regardless, he's going to keep going for it. Eventually gets it third try.
Yeah, third try, that's okay. I think no runner is disappointed if they get the ILJ like to the platform and then get it on the way back. I don't think that's necessarily like... You wouldn't call that a mistake or a bad... You just got it second try, but having to take a couple of deaths is not what Sneepy will have wanted,
Yeah.
really.
So Sneepy finishing up this turret fight, putting on a very clinical performance here.
Really quick turret fight there as well, I think.
Yeah.
Looked very solid to me.
And going for the infinite long jump strat here. Let's see if he can manage to get all the way over to the bolt. Will not make it, so he hyper strikes over here. Ooh, look at that cheeky little movement.
Look at that, dude.
That's
He
just
knows.
choice.
That's just like straight experience as well. If you do that strat and you don't know, oh hey, there's a platform here, I can pack switch now. Like that's the experience coming into play.
Yeah, that was dope. So now coming up over here, this is a little bit faster than just taking that platform up. Not by too terribly much, but it makes it less cycle dependent and all that stuff. So coming over here trying to grab the gold bolt. Gonna see if he can get this movement quickly, and he does. This is aside from some like tough mistakes that Sneepy has made that have lost him a fair bit of time in the early and mid game, he's playing very solidly right now.
Yeah, I think that was a wonder a lot of people had going into this. Is like Sneep's been away for a couple of weeks or a week. He hasn't played. He's just been watching, and how rusty is he going to be at categories? Have we seen Sneep play Size Matters yet? Did he?
Sneep has not played a single game of Size Matters, but I can attest that before this, and don't mind me if I sound a bit spaced out. I'm trying to pull up the leaderboard right now because I believe Sneepy offline tied the world record in Size Matters. He either tied it or was 1 second off. I forget. I think he got a 353 unrecorded. So he's been putting in the work. He's no slouch at this. He's going for this gas bar midair too. He ends up messing it up entirely.
Yeah, just loses the midair right at the end.
Oh, Sneep is 2 seconds. Scott apparently has the 352 unverified.
Okay.
But yeah, so a lot of people getting the work in on Size Matters right now. It's
Is he leaving Orxon 2 as well now? This is like a really solid performance by Izzy. I just have to say, like,
I agree, frankly.
it is very, very solid because we're talking about how well like Sneep's playing really well, and he's however far ahead of Izzy, like 5 minutes or so maybe. Not even that, and it's just solid for Izzy to be keeping it right now. This is a great performance by both runners so far. A Sneep going for the tiptoes strat.
Yeah, only going for one tiptoe is a big FU to Untitled.
Yeah, well, you know what? He doesn't need more than one because there he is.
Yeah, I think.
So I agree. FU Onetabloid. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know many people who would disagree with that statement in this community. Only love. We say this just so you all know. We don't actually hate Onetabloid. I just want to be clear about that in case anybody can't detect the sarcasm.
I think. But,
well, Andy does.
Sure, everyone else, yeah.
But it is very mutual. I'm sure if Onetabloid were on the mic, he would say some horrible things about Andy right now. So it's it's
just after the course.
It's the push pull.
It's the British way.
Yes, yeah. The only people who hate the Brits more than everyone else is each other.
Sneep on Altanis now. If we don't see beam jump, I'm gonna just leave.
We're not gonna see it, so well, it's been a pleasure having you here, Yo Andy.
No, I wasn't really expecting Sneep to go for beam jump. I don't think. Oh, nice! I get the fuck you, Andy, on Sneep's rating as well. Nice. Okay. All right. Well, maybe Izzy can save us with a nice beam jump later. But yeah, Sneep on Altanis here. This is, I think, the planet we may have seen like some of the most punishing deaths on in RaC 1. Unless I'm mistaken. I think a lot of people have had some trouble just like not messing up the easy stuff, if that makes sense. I think you mentioned it the other day, like just keeping focus, and it is quite a hard planet to stay focused on because there's a lot of different elements to it. You've got this ice section which can just completely yeet you off in any way it chooses. The swing shot section, I think a few people were having trouble with that as well, just losing the PDA tech as well.
Yeah, Altanis really has been the Widowmaker so far in the story arc of this tournament. Sneepy doing well so far. It's the idea is that, at least in my opinion, everyone will mess up every spot on Altanis at least once. And at that point, once you mess it up, it's a matter of knowing how to not mess it up later.
Yeah.
Getting through that ice section, taking a very fine line there. There's a very easy line you can take that Sneepy just demonstrated by you just tank 1 damage. That's all you gotta do. Taking another hit right there, that shouldn't be too costly for him. I think he should still be fine, but
yeah, I can't see that really becoming a problem. Sneep shimmying over to this second gold bolt. Am I right in saying there are 4 on Altanis?
There are 4 on Altanis, yes. The 2 over here. I gotta say, I think this one might actually be one of my favorites in the entire game, the one that Sneepy's picking up right now, just because it's just like so hidden. Like a casual player just never expects that bolt to be there. Because they just like, if they found the bolt on the other ice section, like, oh, okay, well, I found the gold bolt in this area. They just like, So, I love it personally.
Sneep having to PDA side himself back up to the height he needed there. Wouldn't exactly have been a very costly death if he had died, but nice to see he's able to save it regardless. Now that he's got the PDA, able to PDA side flip just straight over this wall to the end, which is near to the beginning.
Relatively near to the beginning, not quite at the beginning.
Fun fact: if you skip those dialogue, those cutscenes too quickly, I think you soft lock the game, right?
Yes, you do.
So I just remember that from I think back when I ran NG Plus like for a couple of days back in 2017. I remember I did that like 3 runs in a row and just thought my game was busted before someone actually told me.
Oh my god! I feel like that happens to everybody at some point, though. It's a rite of passage to soft lock on Altanis. Is he gonna make this?
I have no idea why that would happen as well, but
just barely clipping back in. You have to be like, essentially, there's a giant hole where you have to midair into, and on the left half you can go beyond the wall. On the right half, you don't go beyond the wall, and Izzy was barely in the middle, and so the game, the referee kind of defaulted him back over to the to within the bounds. So unfortunately, had to take a death there. But Sneepy having a pretty clean Altanis so far. Aside from that one little mistake he made where he fell off and had a PDA side flip, this has been looking pretty clean.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the worst death we saw on Altanis was was for Tab, unfortunately, where he was just about to pick up this gold bolt and then got knocked off the edge or something. I seem to remember, or died on 1 health. Oh,
yeah.
And those are the kind of mistakes that you think, they just you wouldn't see them in any runs ever, because that would just be a reset. That's like a minute and a half. You just want to reset and start over again. So those are like race exclusive errors to see in runs.
Yeah. And now at this point, Sneepy has ballooned the lead into 1 entire Altanis. For those of you unaware, Altanis is the longest planet in the late game by far. I think really only Quartu kind of keeps up with it in terms of length, but I don't even think that's that close. But of course, also, I don't know how many of you noticed, but Sneepy also got the little swag momentum at the final platform as he was going back to his ship, and now on to Novalis 2 here. This is the backtrack portion now. Sneepy not quite catching the out of bounds spot here.
No, and you know it's simple. Just swim at the wall, dude. Just jump at the wall and swim at the wall. Just do it, dude. Come on.
Sneepy will yeah. There we go.
I have high standards for Sneepy, so him messing up something that's that simple is unlike him. I'm expecting another "fuck you, Andy" coming up on his screen soon as well. So that'd be nice to see.
You can always tell what Sneepy is feeling based on like how he just like ints his time. Like
Yeah.
Sneepy, I gotta say, I have a lot of love for the way that Sneepy plays these games, because he kind of demonstrates what's really cool about like just general speed expression, because he is a top level runner in this game, but he also is one of the people who, like, you know, he never feels as if he has to attach too much pride or self-worth on any one given time, which I need to learn how to do that myself someday. And I think a lot of runners can kind of agree with me on that point.
For sure.
But yeah, Sneepy is like, there's a certain level of humor that he is totally fine adding to his runs. Whenever he makes some sort of silly mistake, he just like leans into it really hard, and it's always really funny.
I think this comes back to something. It was either, I think it may have been you who was saying it the other day about how the Ratchet games are just brilliant for expression. Mm-hmm. Right, you can just tell who's running just based on how they move, and that kind of extends to the kind of shenanigans they pull after they lose time as well.
Yeah, I do agree with what you're saying. I was a bit distracted because Izzy had a really brutal death.
Oh, I wasn't watching.
He tried to ledge grab onto the final spot before the Quark PDA platform.
Oh no!
And he just wall bounced instead. And you know, I've always said that wall bouncing is the worst mechanic in this entire series, and well, that and wrench lock on. It's really whichever one has screwed me over in any particular run.
Yeah, you go back and forth.
I do. Yeah, I waffle.
Sneak finishing up Novalis 2 as well here. Getting a really nice chain into the second gold bolt area.
Yeah, but Izzy's still... I mean, like, listen, all things considered, the fact of the matter is Sneepy is one of the best AGB players in the entire world, and Izzy is not that... Like, until that point, you know, that's obviously a pretty brutal time loss, but Izzy was keeping it very respectable, and I mean, in many ways still is. I mean, it's commendable on Izzy's part that he's playing so well, knowing that he's... Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
That is such a hard spot to know what to do there. Izzy had to take the damage there. That was the option that he had in front of him. You had to just take the damage, walk forward, and use some momentum to get, ideally, a well-spaced double jump. But unfortunately, you know, miscalculating slightly.
Are we going to see what I think we're going to see?
I think we are at this point. I think Izzy knows that... at this point, it's too difficult to catch up using normal conventions, so he might as well just go for some swag here. Sneepy taking a death there on on Quar 2, accidentally dipping too far into the mud before pulling the swing shot out.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I played RaC 1 the other day. Just to kind of how far can I get in NG+, what kind of time could I get after not playing it for 3 years. Old Tarnis took me about 40 minutes to like remember what I was supposed to do. Old Tarnis? No, not Old Tarnis, sorry. That really would be impressive if I took 40 minutes on Old Tarnis and NG+. Quar 2.
Quar 2 is tough. It's people don't expect it to be as hard as it is, but it's a pretty tricky planet. Izzy, yep, he's going for it. He's taking off the Magna boots.
Going barefoot right now.
The boots are coming off here.
Sneepy with Ghost Ratchet, just while Izzy sets up, is going to jump over this. Oh, Sneepy has gone back into the Shadow Realm.
Oh, I was actually really hoping that it would go like super pixely again. I want to see this fight in like full deep fried mode. But here we got Izzy coming up to beam jump. Let's see if Izzy can get it.
This is, for those who don't know, the hardest trick in Ratchet 1, honestly, bar nothing, and there's no competition.
Yeah.
Really precise jumps, really precise positioning, timing, just everything.
Lining it up here. Going for the side flip hyper strike. Doesn't quite get there, but it's going to have plenty of chances. Yeah, Ratchet 1, by and large, is, if you can believe it, not a crazy strat-heavy speedrun. Now, I know that doesn't sound logical when you first hear it, but when you think about it a little bit, it's Ratchet 1 is all about movement. And, oh, no. Izzy accidentally hyper striking out of bounds there. We'll see what Izzy chooses to do at this point.
I think that might be the end of beam jump attempts for today.
Yeah, we'll see how Izzy continues to proceed here. Hopefully Izzy will be able to at least close out Ultanis. But Sneepy now with a nigh insurmountable lead. But yeah, to finish up what I was saying before, Ratchet 1, I mean, it's got its fair share of strats, but nothing too terribly crazy. I mean, the majority of Ratchet 1 at a high level is just knowing how to move quickly, which, you know, that is certainly a strat, but it's not like it's a super glitch heavy idea.
No, not at all. I think in general the Ratchet games can just be personified as the momentum's busted.
Yes.
And then you can say everything from, or the original trilogy games at least, or quadrilogy probably. Like, you can just say the momentum's busted, so we can do X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then there's a couple other offshoot kind of bugs and mechanics that are separate to each individual game, but that's just the core principle, really.
Yeah. It's it's just about going fast and eating ass whenever possible.
Going for the cactus proxy, oh lovely, or the bomb proxy, whichever one it is.
Very swag stuff there, and actually pretty optimal as well. So
yeah,
you know, good stuff. It's rare that we have swag strats that are also faster. I mean, maybe that's just me speaking as an Ouya runner, where, you know, Andy, I'm sure you understand this very well as well. Anytime we get a swag strat in Ouya, it's always 1 second slower.
Especially when you find a strat and it's slower at the time of finding it, and so someone names it after you because it's slower. That's what Andy strats is. Even when it was found, it was not fast. And so Jarnik decided to name it after me.
Oh my god, Jarnet's such a troll.
He is such a troll. Sneep doing this lovely cineflip. I love this cineflip here to get to the top.
So optimal there. Oh my god, they're very clutch movement. Not only do you have to get enough forward speed there to be able to make it over into the corridor, you also have to get enough height to come over top the agent cutscene. You know, Skid's agent.
It's also you don't have as much time to cineflip as you think, because the mud ends at a certain point, if I'm correct in saying.
Taking a brutal bonk there. Unfortunately, not going to be able to keep his momentum here and go over into the swing shot arena. But, you know, at this point, I think Sneepy is just very clinically trying to close this out. Knows that he can go for kind of whatever he wants now because he has such a big lead. But Izzy very nearly finished with Ultanis. When Izzy finishes Ultanis, I expect to see a chant in the same vein as fuck Ultanis. I know we can't put fucking chants, but well, you guys will figure out something. I believe in it. But you just gotta make sure you're doing it right as Izzy finishes Ultanis. Don't do it too soon.
I don't want to see it until Ultanis is gone from the screen.
Well, never mind. Dan the Enigma enables the chant immediately, but that
was essentially inevitable, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's my bad. You know, I take full responsibility for that. I said something. I should know better.
I mean, you have been streaming how long now? You should know these things. Twitch chat, be Twitch chat, you know. Yeah, I don't blame anyone for hating Ultanis though. It doesn't even look nice. Like, nothing about it is fun. It's too long. The enemies are too annoying. There's no fun areas. It just looks boring. You can't use plank. Why did they? Oh no!
Oh my god, Sneepy had the swaggest movement I've ever seen in my life, and then unfortunately is not able to chain that together into a gold bolt pickup. Yeah, so he's gonna have to do it again here. I love this strat. I love watching Sneepy do that. That is just money.
So sick.
Here he
It's
goes
harder
again.
than it looked for not to get electrocuted there. Like,
Yeah.
the pool of water extends below where the gold bolt is, but it's also in this kind of semicircle shape of the room, as you see there, all the way down. So you have to go all the way around that before you can get to the gold bolt.
Yeah, so finally managing to pick that up.
That's an interesting one.
Oh,
I don't think I've seen that before from Sneep.
thank you, Dan. Dan, getting the run back, and you know, now we can all lovingly agree that Oltanis is a terrible planet, and we all hate it. Me and all my homies, we all hate Oltanis. But now, yeah, so Izzy beginning his backtrack section. Gonna try to just finish out strong here. Gonna try to get as much done as he can in the remainder of this run while Sneepy cleans up here. Ooh, managing to chain that. Did you? Oh my god, that was...
he like slid on the surface and then continued. That was really smooth from Sneep.
That was dope.
I thought for sure that was gonna get dropped. But, again, that's just the kind of that's the benefit of experience, you know. That's just this hasn't lost me my speed yet. I can react to this in, you know, a heartbeat and continue the chain.
Ooh, I like that little strat there. I like just double jump hyper striking on top of that. Unfortunately, not able to clip inside of the thing here, but he's gonna get a couple extra chances. It doesn't really lose that much time here, so. One thing I love about the way that Sneepy plays as well is that whenever he messes something up, he always very adamantly does the exact same thing again, just to like.
Yeah, for sure. There's no, oh, I messed that up. Maybe I should go for a backup strat. There's nothing like that. It's just, no, I fucked it up. Let me just do it. Let me just do it properly this time.
Yeah, it makes it honestly though, like it. Oh, is he gonna get out here? It barely makes it out with only 1 health left to go. Let's see if he can avoid getting lasered here. And does not avoid getting lasered.
Dude, I saw that PDA and I was like, don't long jump out of that. You're going straight into the laser. watch him prove us right and do the exact same thing here. Like PDA there, long jump out. Like.
Yep, here he goes. Do it, and there it is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, admittedly, I think him taking a lot of time clipping out bounds maybe messed up where he thought the lasers would be. Possibly, yeah. I don't know. I'll make an excuse for him to save his bacon.
He also channeled his inner Fortnite player by teabagging the robot after blowing him up. So, you know, getting a little bit of extra swag in there. It's very important that he practices that, because after this he actually will be playing in the Fortnite World Cup, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, Sneepy, world number 2 in Fortnite.
Yeah, right after Ninja.
Right after Ninja. If you can't detect the sarcasm, that's not true. just in case you actually, oh shit, no, that's not true. Sneepy and I have a famous Fortnite story, but we won't say it here. The one time we ever played Fortnite together. Maybe we can hear about it in the interview after the game if Sneepy's able to close this out.
Yeah, I will make sure that I conveniently have a bathroom break during that story, because Fortnite is cringe.
Oh, don't worry. It's not a story that does Fortnite any favors.
Okay.
Let me say that much.
Well, at least there's that. Sneepy exiting the fat cock room, not even taking a second to glance at all the big brown cocks in there.
Honestly, can we add 10 minutes for the fact that he didn't look at any of them?
It would be an honor and a privilege to add 10 minutes to his run for that.
Is he taking the lead with that 10-minute penalty?
Sneep now coming out.
I think it probably is about 10-minute gap right now.
I would say
maybe a little bit longer.
Let me see. Iridia, then he has to do Fleet, and then Kalibo 3. It is relatively close to 10 minutes there, yes. Yeah, Izzy taking a quick little second there. I'm not 100% sure. I think Izzy's just kind of, you know, having a bit of fun while also still trying to do some swag stuff here real quick. Sneepy closing out on Veldon 2. Just bought the Pyrocitor. Bought the 6 ammo. Of course, that is lore-based.
Okay. Fine. The 10-minute penalty's gone.
Yeah.
Tractile decision.
So now we see Sneepy coming over here, going to be doing this little strat right here. I love that strat. It's so cool looking.
Dude, I saw this like initially and thought, that's it's just really smooth and slick. Lovely positioning with it as well.
Almost falling down the hole in an era before PDA side flips that may have caused him a bit of problems.
Sneepy trying desperately to get Ghost Ratchet there.
Yeah.
Able to get it. I wasn't sure for a second, but then this chain here getting all the way through, going. Okay, he's able to back it up with a PDA, and this is the difference. This is what we were talking about with the early game versus late game. Pre-PDA, that would have absolutely been like a minute-long death, right? But because Sneep has the PDA, he's just able to back it up very, very easily. So I'd say the back half of this category is a lot more lenient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's yeah, that's basically the whole idea behind. Oh, we're deep fried again.
Dude.
Oh my God, can we get a deep fried Drek ending? I wonder.
Drek.
Sneepy going for a really cool ILJ. They're not even getting Ghost Ratchet, not going back to the platform.
For those who can tell what's going on, that was a really cool ILJ from Steve. What? The menu just looks like
Oh my God, these thruster pack long jumps look so cool. This is like, have you ever seen those memes that are like, they look exactly like this, and they keep like shape shifting like every 2 seconds.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
That's like the vibe I'm getting from this, and I'm like expecting the scene to just transition completely into like he's already playing Todd somehow or something.
Yeah, it just like blurs into Todd. This is if you can actually tell, that's the platform down there at the bottom half of the screen. That's where Sneepy's landing, going into Drek. We do have deep fried Drek.
He gets bomb RNG.
Bomb RNG, yeah.
That is the optimal RNG, but still takes some damage right there, getting hit by the flames because he is in fact a noob. But doing his best here to recover, getting the second cycle of Drek now. Is that good enough? That looks barely good enough to be able to get it.
I don't know how much health Drek has right now. The health bar is kind of a little bit hard to read.
Bomb ammo or bomb RNG right there again.
Two bombs is he should be able to close it up right about
yeah,
now.
just finishing up the fight now. Gonna hit the button here.
Bang in time.
Oh, whoops.
We had a deep fried Drek fight, and then as soon as Drek was over, straight back to normal footage.
That was beautiful. So
58-18 was that?
58. I stopped the clock a few seconds late. It was about 58-15. So
that's a really good time.
58-11 according to Sneepy's splits. Oh, but that makes sense because the timer also starts 3 seconds earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, barring him having missed any gold bolts, which I don't see how that's even doable.
I'm not gonna check.
Okay.
Okay, so Izzy takes the game as Sneepy is unable to.
The run could not be legally verified. So
yeah, you got no skill points though. Like,
I don't know where I went wrong.
Yeah. So that is now a 1-0 lead for Sneepy. I'll bring up the scoreboard now so you all can see it after game 1. I believe. If I know Izzy, he's going to counterpick. I think I have an idea where he's going to counterpick, but I want to hear it from him himself. Izzy, where are you at? What's your counterpick going to be?
Any Todd enjoyers?
There are no Todd enjoyers here. I'll tell you.
there are very few Todd enjoyers anywhere. Let me tell you. Right, that's the unfortunate truth.
Somewhere in the world, Killer Lombax feels a disturbance.
Yeah.
Torpedo and Killer are coming for me, but yeah, it's gonna be SM. All
right, you heard it here first, folks. We got ourselves a Size Matters. This will be Sneepy's first Size Matters run of his tournament life thus far. I would say this is going to be, if I'm going to pull up, while these runners are pulling up their emulators, I am going to mute both audios I'm going to throw their screens away here. Pulling up the player cards once again, so you can all see it. They are very, very nearly tied.
Yeah, I'd say they're close enough to tied to the point where it's anyone's game, right? You can't say in Size Matters, a category this short and this volatile, that, you know, even if someone has like a PB that's 10 seconds, 15 seconds faster, that's nothing. That's just like half a bird cycle, right? That's how we should categorize time. I think in the RaC series, we should say how faster is it? Oh, it's about 2 bird cycles faster.
Yeah. What's that one emo that everyone uses for the golem? It's like a.
I don't know.
It's like the Easter Island, like.
I'm sure people are posting it right now, Zem. Let me tell you.
But yeah, so I need
the Maori statues.
That's it, Moai. That's what it's called.
Moai, whatever. Yeah.
So everyone who's ever seen this category knows that there's 2 very, very important things here. I'm gonna get a little chant going here in just a second, assuming I do this correctly. There we go. The 2 things we have to look out for: bird and golem. Those are the 2 important things. We literally can't do a single run of Size Matters without mentioning those 2. Want to give a quick shout out to Binu. Thank you for the 5 gift subs, homie. Really appreciate that. That is more than the average sub, so I do get to verbally say that on the stream. So sorry to everybody who didn't want to see me waxing my own sub penis right now, but too bad. Regardless, let's take a look at the runners and see what is going on. Oh my god! You know what? I'm gonna pull up that stinger transition again because look at this. It just looks so good.
Why is this? Who do we have to thank for the stream looking so good, dude?
It's funny you should mention that, yo, Andy. Every single bit of design that you see on this stream, every single layout, every single transition, it was all done by one person. Stacked Design. I don't know if you're in the chat right now, but you are. I mean, he is brilliant. He is absolutely brilliant at this stuff. You know, I work very closely with him because he's my current video editor, and I can tell you he is by far one of the most dedicated, hardest working people I've ever worked with, period. He just really, really genuinely loves this stuff and pours every ounce of himself into these designs. So if you end up seeing Stacked Design in the chat either today, tomorrow, the next day, whenever you see him, please make sure you tell him how amazing of a job he did, because frankly, he deserves to hear it.
Just in the intermission between these games, I'd like to point out, one, my curtains are ugly as hell. We were talking about this before, but if they're open, the light just like shines on the screen. Secondly, at Shoe on Head is not like me. I don't know why that's still there and has been there the whole time. I told them, you're like Andy_225 on Twitter. I was like, yeah, don't put it on there. Just like do whatever. I didn't expect at Shoe on Head to be there. To be honest.
Yeah, Andy. So I asked Andy what Twitter link he wanted to use. He said, I don't use Twitter. Don't put anything there for me. And I thought having just n/a would be really boring. And I was thirst scrolling through Shoe on Head's tweets earlier today anyway. So I just figured it was, you know, I had to give a little bit of
yeah, that's fine.
I only have 2 queens in this world. It's Shoe on Head and Boxy. Those are my 2.
Okay.
Those are
you, man.
Yeah, I can't help it. I am who I am. Listen, we'll talk about anime when we can talk about anime, Delta. Now's not the time.
That's a whole different world, you know.
Yeah.
Let's leave the anime to its own little corner and then have the rest of the world working normally in like everywhere else. Some Dirty P. Gosh. We've mentioned Dirty P every time now, and I feel good about it.
Dirty P, baby. You know how it goes. Both of them getting a little bit of time in.
Some Dirty P on the bird and Izzy on the golem. That may be a sign of what's troubling each of them the most in their lead up to this match. I don't know what I was going to say there, but you know, I didn't say it, so it doesn't matter.
It's all good. You know, I just appreciate you filling the dead air, Andy. That's all I really care about.
You calling me dead air?
No.
Calling me a good dead air filler?
Well,
Is that what you're doing right now?
yes.
Honestly, you help someone organize a tournament, and like you come on to do commentary for them, and this is the shit they give you.
That's
I'm gonna go. Dude, you're gonna make me go into evil Yoandi mode in a minute.
Oh no, not evil Yo Andy. If you all,
Okay.
if you all haven't seen Evil Yo Andy, actually, I'm gonna just say it. Evil Yo Andy might be the perfect thing we need here for Size Matters.
Dude, I'm fucking pissed. You gotta fucking scream, dude. Oh, dude.
Oh my goodness, we
Yeah,
are.
I can't.
Yeah, that's his evil twin brother, Yo Arnold.
Do not give me a scaling contrast thing. I'll go mad with it.
How about wait? Can that be the thing? Like on April Fool's Day, can you stream with that filter and then call instead of Yo Andy, it's just Hey Arnold? Like you make your stream Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold. Oh no, that's too low. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna have to crack the whip on these runners. You don't get too much time to get that dirty pee in here. If you haven't gotten it in already, the bar is closing. So the way that we're gonna do this is we're gonna do this a little bit differently this time around because we want to make sure that neither runner has any significant advantage coming out of the load sequence. So what we're going to do is we're gonna have both runners load into Pokitaru and just pause the game, and then at the end of the countdown they're just gonna unpause their game and just go.
Yeah.
What
So
about we both
go
load
ahead.
the cutscene and then skip it on the go?
That works as well. Really, whatever works best for everybody.
Well, in that case, I'm ready.
All right, Izzy, are you ready as well? We're waiting on confirmation.
I am now, yeah.
All right.
Good luck.
You know, I just realized this has been the first installment of the battle of, you know, and Izzy might kill me for saying this. This is like a UK showdown. You know, this is so we have Sneep representing Great Britain, and all the all things England. Sorry, I'll say this correctly.
I was gonna say,
I'll say this correctly.
They're both representing Great Britain right now.
Well, okay, I'm sure if you asked most Scottish people, they would disagree, but
Actually, that's very true. That's very true.
I did want to say we got Sneep representing England here. We got Izzy representing Scotland. You can hear it in both of their sexy accents.
And this is definitely the first time that an English person has played a Scottish person in this tournament. Tab has not played Izzy yet, for certain.
Yes, that has certainly not happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, apart from that once. Apart from the one time they played each other. Yeah. So.
Okay, I just want to prove that as an American, I still know what all these things are. Okay, so first is the Great Brit, or not? It's the British Isles, and that's all of it.
Yep.
That's England. That is all of the UK and Ireland, and then you have Great Britain, which is excluding Ireland but including Northern Ireland.
Yes.
And then you have the breakdown of England, Scotland, Wales, and North Ireland, and those are the four quadrants.
Yeah. But I think it's really important that we ask Mantadia where the UK actually is.
Oh my! Does he struggle with that? Is that something that?
Have you not seen the video?
No, I'm gonna need to see that soon.
Yeah. Oh, it's a 10-minute video. Let me just put it that way. Anyway, are the runners ready?
Yeah, let's get this. Let's get this started. We got verbal confirmation like 8 hours ago. All right, runners, start your games. We'll get the cutscene going.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you the good graces of counting these guys in.
All right, I appreciate it.
So when you're ready.
Okay, runners, they're gonna enter the cutscene together. You may skip your cutscenes in 3, 2, 1, go. I accidentally started the timer a little late because I was on the wrong scene because I had to click a chant. But regardless,
not a problem.
They are off here.
Yeah, both getting really quick first skip there, skipping essentially the entirety of the tutorial section, where normally that little hut blows up after the tutorial, but you can just jump right over it. And of course, this is Size Matters 5 titanium bolts. Really short category. It's 5 minutes long. we only visit 4 planets, 3 planets.
It is
Three
three planets.
planets.
Yes,
3
that's
planets,
correct.
but one of them's a clank section, so that's where I was getting confused. Both looking at getting this SI here. I think Izzy having a bit more trouble than Sneep, who's already getting over towards the bird.
Yeah, Izzy's going to have to really move here. I mean, Sneepy does not necessarily have a lead. It's just going to be a matter of when they hit their cycles. So
Yeah, I'm a little concerned how slow Izzy's gone, but I've been told in the past that you can go pretty slow and still hit the cycle. And yeah, the bird's not even in view yet.
So this is going to be the big decider right here. We're going to need a moment of silence for both of these runners. Both of them
hitting it. Oh. Dude, let's go.
That is so
I didn't want
dope.
to speak as soon as Izzy hit it because I didn't want to throw Sneep off. But look at this.
We are going to be using Sneepy's audio, even though Izzy has a slight lead right now heading into Rylus, because I'm currently not getting any game audio from Izzy's emulator. But that being said, Izzy with a slight lead here, coming in, that's grabbing the second of these titanium bolts. Oh no, the third titanium bolt. I'm sorry, we already collected 2. Yeah.
Now we're gonna see the ship proxy. You essentially enter the ship halfway through your high jump, and the second upward momentum gain of the high jump just gets amplified way much. They're not in the sky right now. They're in like the sky 2, which is above the sky. That's how high they are right now.
If only we had something that was above the sky. It's a shame. Well, scientists have been trying to figure that out for ages. But yeah, so they are way up in the air right now, like way above the level. You can see it's just going to be, roughly 20 seconds of black screen in total.
They're like falling at terminal velocity right now, and this is how long it's taken them to hit the ground. This is like, yeah, you can see the skybox loading in at roughly the same time for both of them, checking their position on the map because they need to land at a relatively precise spot. Sneepy landing almost directly on top of the bolt and taking a couple seconds lead, but going to be essentially neck and neck going into this golem here.
Yeah, here we go.
So we've done the bird, guys. What's next?
Yeah, everyone knows there's only one thing to do after you get the bird. Let's see how fast they can get this clip. You can see after they attempt it, they kind of have to reset the golem's run animation. Well, they need the backswing of the club of the wrench to push them out, I believe. But yeah, both of them struggling a little tiny bit here, not getting the fastest golem clips.
Sneep, that one looked really close for Sneep. Izzy getting through.
And Sneep as
also
well.
Getting through. This is going to be really close because there's not really much left of the category. But with Izzy with a 3 or 4 second lead or so, I don't know if there's any way he can throw it away at this point.
Grabs the ledge there. Not what he wanted.
Yeah, no, the ledge is fine. It's okay. But I think Sneep had just too much trouble there with the golem, and unless the load variance happens on other planets, which I don't think it does, right?
I don't think so. No. Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know much about this.
Well, either way, Izzy's landing on Caledon right now. So
yeah.
And all that's left for Izzy, Sneep. Yeah, just. This is by far the closest size matters run we've had, and Izzy taking it there, picking up that last titanium bolt. Sneep just a couple seconds late. Look at those times as well: 4:18, 4:22.
Yeah, unfortunately, no sweepy for Sneepy. This is
get out your sweepy emotes, and then like the red arrow cross one.
And I just want to honestly, I want to give a quick shout out to Izzy. Because Izzy has only, despite being what I would consider probably a pretty realistic underdog in the majority of his matches, has only dropped size matters once.
Yeah, that's incredible. Izzy in a sandstorm right now. If you're wondering what's going on his screen, it's just a sandstorm. But yeah, Sneep. To get a size matters time like that and still lose the game, that's hard. We've seen things like that happen before with Tab in Todd, where he was like 10 seconds off his PB and lost. But it's a really hard loss to take, I think, sometimes, especially when these losses for Sneep could very, very well play into his qualification and Tab's qualification as well.
Mm-hmm.
The number of losses that these guys have could end up being like the tiebreaker. It's the only non-game playing tiebreaker that we have is who has the most wins and then who has the least losses if that's tied. So
that's actually pretty huge for Izzy, because that could be the difference.
It could be very huge.
I
mean, is he still having to close up this next win, unfortunately, to make chances go? So
sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. Here, I did want to pull up though real quick. I meant to drag us over here and pull up the bracket actually, because I believe with that singular game win over Sneepy, Izzy has guaranteed himself at least 4th place.
Right. Okay.
I believe he cannot perform worse than Mukka, because Mukka only has 3 game wins in total. And with that game win on Sneepy, Izzy now has 4. So he is guaranteed to at least place above Muckemannen. And I actually believe this locks Mukka into 5th place.
I believe so, yeah.
Well, the only...
Well, no, Sneepy could get swept, I think.
Yes, right? If Sneepy gets swept in the remaining games that he has left, all 5 games, if he gets swept, then he would tie for last with Mukka. But
that being said, Mukka unfortunately has already said that he's not going to be able to play any tiebreakers. So I think even at this point, it's looking unlikely. And even if it was to happen, I think we'd probably either just call it a tie and split the prize pool, or do something else. So, but from everyone, it's been an incredible performance, and I think it says a lot that a runner as goated as Mukka has finished in bottom place. I think that says so much about the quality that we have. Just everyone in this tournament has performed incredibly well.
Yeah,
I don't think there's very, very few scenarios where I've thought people have underperformed in categories, and it's just been epic so far, and hopefully we're looking forward to. I mean, including this the last game of this series, I think we've only got like a maximum of 9 or so games left. 3 series, something like that. It's insane, and all of those are. Oh, I'm not going to miss a single one of them. Let me tell you.
Yeah, they're going to be. The quality is only going to continue to get better and better. I do want to give a shout out to Izzy in chat right now, who is saying, I wasn't able to play any tiebreakers anyway, but since my share was already going to charity, give Mukka the extra 4% since he's going to teaching, and it'll do good. And I just want to say, obviously, we'll hash out those details later.
Yeah. Cool.
But this is basically what RaC Champs is all about. Is the idea that even though everyone wants to win, no one wants anybody else to lose. We're all one community. We're all friendly. We're all close. It's like we've all known each other for how many years now, and it just shows a lot of love on Izzy's behalf to even just announce something like that here so publicly. So Izzy is a really, really great guy, and showing not just that he's a great runner, but a great person as well. But yeah, it's a crazy result. I don't know if anyone to kind of touch back on and put a ribbon on what we were saying. I don't know if anyone expected Mukka to end with only a few game wins, especially because Mukka is legitimately one of the most decorated runners in the entire community.
I mean, he has world record in one of the 3 categories, and is like very solid at one of the others. Like that's insane that we've got that level of competition.
Yeah. So, big ups to both Mukka and Izzy, of course. But we're not done here yet. We've got one more game to play. Sneepy, of course, says, I'm pissed, which I assume means that either, one, he's angry. Well, I think he's mostly just angry he has to play Todd, but he could also just be taking a leak right now. I'm going to refresh Izzy's cache here real quick because we're currently not seeing anything on Izzy's end. So let me see if I refresh it.
There's also been certain requests for you to change the layout of the game to
Oh, yes, of course.
one more suiting of Tools of Destruction?
I am currently refreshing the cache on my end. I don't know what's going on. We're currently not getting any feed from Izzy, but at the very least, I can take a second here to one, show off one of these amazing stinger transitions that RaC made by demonstrating this. So we're going into Tools of Destruction. Once again, we are RaC champs. This is our tournament all screwed up, where we're running 3 different categories. All gold bolts in Ratchet 1, Tools of Destruction 10 gold bolts, size matters 5 titanium bolts. Luckily, we are getting to see all 3 of these here today. This is a crowd-funded prize pool. We have raised $1,500 to give out to all of these runners. That means that first place will receive over $600, which is quite the payout.
That's insane.
Yeah. So this is, if you want to contribute, you are more than welcome to directly donate to the prize pool. You can also buy some of the merch on my merch store. If you type !merch in the chat, a portion of that will be going towards the prize pool as well. So yeah, just wanted to give you all that. And with that, let me also change the hue of the game here.
Oh, deep blue.
Love it.
Away from like that sicky yellowy green or yellowy orange of size matter. Ugh.
Listen, Andy, we both play Ouya. I don't know if we have much of a leg to stand on when it comes to bad colors for our games.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. I just described, yeah. Yeah, well, you lose some, you lose some if you're Yo Andy.
I do want to give a quick shout out to C Dazer in the chat, donating $9, says, I like even numbers, raising the overall prize pool now to $1,530. Thank you so much for that, C Dazer.
OBS Ninja's not having a good day, or maybe Sneep's not having a good. Something's
my
just
game
not
feed
really
doing?
Oh, it's back now.
I wasn't even moving.
Yeah, it was the sandstorm, dude.
Anyway, I'm good to go.
Sneepy, can you just say something real quick?
It depends. What do you want me to say?
Okay, I just needed to make sure that it wasn't that the game feed wasn't picking up your microphone instead of the actual game. It's hard to tell on my end, so I just want to make sure. Yeah, I see that Stack Design is now in the chat. I would like to give another quick shout out to RaC. If you've enjoyed the extremely professional look of this stream, it's entirely because of him. And so, if you've been amazed by these, for example, these stinger transitions, or this little intro sequence, or not, this isn't the intro sequence. This is the intro sequence. Look at this.
Dude, stop! I've got stuff to do after this. God.
And then look at this. Look at this. So we get a nice. As soon as this ends, it automatically leads into this countdown sequence right here as well. Or if I even wanted to, hold on, I could also do this. Let me do logo mat. Check this out. So I could even pull the logo in here again at the end of this. So you'll see it here real quick. Oh, wait, no, I had the wrong one. How did I mess that up? Wait, hold on. Give me one more chance. Give me a mulligan. Okay, this should work this time the way I want it to. Check this out. Come on. Oh, it's not working the way I want to for some reason.
Zim's like a kid at Christmas who just got a new toy. It's just like showing off, like, look at all the things it can do.
This will definitely work. Hold on, check this out. So check out this stinger transition. Oh, that one looks so dope. But yeah, RaC made all of those. So make sure you give him a lot of love for doing that. Runners, I'm assuming if you didn't get your dirty P in now, you're not going to get much later. So it's about time we get cracking here. Andy, if you would like to give the final countdown of this series, you can feel free to do so.
Sorry. Could you give me a second to change my controls?
No problem.
Oh yeah,
no problem.
Take your time. Yeah, that's my bad. I should have gotten verbal verification there, so I apologize.
What's happening to Sneep's screen? It's just like this wavy, dusty effect that's devouring the screen, dude.
I kind of love it, honestly.
It looks good. I hope it stays like
trippy,
that.
Honestly.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell that would have happened, but
no.
I'm glad it's here.
I don't know who to blame.
Is it
I'm
fixed?
gonna blame Sneep.
Okay,
Is it
I'm
still
good.
broken?
Yeah, it's still
It
broken.
is still busted.
Shall I refresh OBS Ninja?
You could do that. It might just kickstart it.
I'll do it.
I could also actually, have you already done it? He
Hold
already
on,
did
yeah.
it.
You already
did it.
I could say
Yeah,
I
you
could
did.
just refresh the cache on my end as well.
Yeah, it might not be a your end problem though. That's
True.
Oh, I can't remember which one's old game audio though. Hold on, I think it's this one. Sorry, I'm slow.
Yeah, we know.
I'm gonna take a second to just like dick around on my phone because I'm a millennial and I can't be separated from my phone for more than 2 seconds.
Yeah, let me just answer text real quick.
Yeah.
Take your time, Sneak. By the way. Just...
Oh yeah. By all means.
I think. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm ready
You're back.
now.
You're back.
All right,
Oh.
we got
Yeah,
both
it looks
runners
good.
ready and on deck. Sneepy and Izzy, are you both ready for the deciding game?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
It's just loading up.
All right, let me pull up the scorecard here. You can see it's 1-1. This is game 3 here on RaC Champs. This is going to be an exciting one. Andy, if you'd like to take it away and count these runners in.
Sure. 3, 2, 1, go.
And now
1,
we wait.
2, 3. I was thinking, shall I count down from 13 and then go on 10? Because I feel like that would have been a bit more accurate. And they're off.
Oh my goodness. Tab, of course, I modded him earlier this stream to protect him from Deltadoid, timing him out over and over. Using that power to root specifically for Izzy. Tab, of course, is a competitor in this event as well and would really love to see Izzy take out a win here on Sneepy. So we're going to see how this goes. They're neck and neck going into this section here. So this is going to...
neck and neck.
Yeah, this is a very important part of the run right here. They want to make sure they're getting through this section as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and so you're going to see the first trick of the run coming up. They're going to try and jump on these boxes. I think Sneep's going to, quite rightly, take the checkpoint there, just in case it goes wrong. Hyperstrike on this lamp, as we're watching Sneep do now. Try and get through the wall and then come back onto the terrain to kind of... You'll see when he gets through. Ooh, having a bit of trouble, actually. There you go. Gets back through. Hyperstrikes back onto the terrain.
Oh, is he taking a death there, unfortunately?
Yeah. Also having trouble, though, so, you know, it's not necessarily a lead evolving just yet.
Yeah. Izzy's got to get this relatively quickly, though, to be able to keep it close. You know, he took a death there, but wisely grabbed the checkpoint because as a lot of these runners are figuring out, this particular spot is not the most safe thing to do in a... I call it a marathon setting. This isn't really a marathon, but...
It's a race setting,
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So, Oh, Izzy not getting the ledge grab there. That's so unfortunate.
Really unfortunate, yeah. Sneepy did actually go for that faster hyperstrike strat right at the end of that segment. Oh, breaking those boxes, I think he should be okay.
And now this is going to be, you know, Izzy's challenge here right now is just going to be keeping it together. This is, you know, not the way that he wanted this to start out, but if he starts to panic, if he doesn't take his time, you know, take a deep breath, you know, we want to make sure, he's got to make sure he's taking care of himself mentally here. But Sneepy will be moving on now to Kabalia. So he's going to be heading over there. And of course, every time we have Kabalia, there's two main sections of Kabalia. There's here the jungle section, where he's inevitably going to come up to fighting a giant Leviathan boss thing.
And then there's the good part.
And
oh,
then the
yeah.
part that everyone loves, the cum factory. So we're gonna see
Do you
here.
think that even went through the minds of the devs when they were like making it? Do you think thought people in like 12 years time are gonna be like, this is cum? Do you think they even could have thought about that in their dizziest dreams?
I think that's exactly what they thought. Honestly,
Yeah.
there's one thing I know.
Honestly, the game was probably called Project Cum. Like,
Well, Insomniac, I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. Insomniac has some of the dirtiest minds in the business. These are coming from the same people who once tried to call a game foreplay. So, you know, I'd like to think that they knew what they were doing. But, yeah, who knows how deep the rabbit hole goes.
ACIT going to be clock blockers?
Clock blockers, yep. That's another one. We also had Into the Nether Regions. That was going to be the original title of Into the Nexus.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you know, it's the way it goes. So, I like to think they knew that it looked very reminiscent of Cum. So, Sneepy...
just a quick side note. If your cum does look like that, go see a doctor. Like,
dude, I'm not gonna lie. So this isn't going where you think it's gonna go. I promise you.
I was really worried for a second.
I watch a lot of pimple popping videos because I find them very therapeutic. Yeah. And I've never seen this until today, but for some reason I saw it twice of people's pimples getting popped and they were green. Like a deep neon green, and it grossed the hell out of me. So if there's ever anything coming out of your body that's green, please go see a doctor.
Yeah, please do. Sneep entering the cum factory.
Yep.
Sorry, I've just been completely put off by what you just said.
No, that's okay. I was pretty put off by it myself, but I still watched the whole video.
Sneep going for a clip here. Just using the what? Oh no, he did use the 2. Clipping out of bounds, gonna jump on the cum. That's something I never thought I'd say. and then long. For fuck's sake. Then jump out of bounds, get a death. That's an intentional death because you hit a cutscene trigger. Skip this whole like right side section just by jumping up to the top of that. Cum waterfall. That's another thing. You know, you never think you're gonna say things, do you? And then you just say them sometimes.
It just goes to show the future is random and unexpected.
Yeah. Speaking of Izzy though, Izzy did eventually get that trick on Veldin, and was able to get off, and is on Kabalia now, and is going to be close to the cum factory now.
While Izzy is playing catch-up here, and they're both in the midst of a cutscene, I do want to give a quick shout-out to I'm Periphery, a $20 donation that says simply, shout out to Zem's editor. Roth, if you're still in the chat, that one goes out to you. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it, Periphery. So, continuing here, Sneepy is nearly done now with Kabalia. He'll be heading on to Kortog, which is... where, you know, yesterday we saw Sneepy made a relatively... Or no, it wasn't Sneepy that made the grave error. It was Mucka that made the grave error on Kortog. Sneepy has been playing relatively lights out, you know, for somebody who hates Todd as much as he does. He's been playing pretty darn well in this game so far. We got Andy getting pretty deep fried here now.
We love it. We love to see it.
Andy, you look like you are, for a second there, you looked like you were a member of the Insane Clown Posse. So,
Maybe I am.
Is that true?
No. Why would it be true?
Shit, you're right. Why wouldn't that be true? Oh my goodness. Well, Sneepy over here grabbing the Shock Ravager, the one item in this game I know the name of because of all the time I spent playing Quest for Booty. And he's going to use this Shock Ravager over here to be killing all these enemies, and he's not doing this for experience. As a matter of fact, he's only doing this for bolts. Now, obviously, you know, it doesn't hurt to level up the Shock Ravager by any means, but he's really going to only need the bolts here. You want to make sure that you're having roughly somewhere in the ballpark of like 24,500, 25,000 by the time you're done with Fastoon, which is, of course, the planet coming up after this one. So, Stevie going for the wall bounce here. Gets it
really quickly.
Yeah,
nice. Ammo is really important here as well. It was quite important that I didn't see if Sneep bought ammo there or just got ammo from crates, but you barely have enough ammo to do everything you want to do here with the Shock Ravager.
Yeah. Marathon Man in the chat saying that this strat is now called Ligma Whip, to which, of course, I have to ask. I don't know what you mean. What is Ligma? I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but I'm not going to ask.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine too.
Yeah. I don't know, I just have a bad feeling about saying those, like, couple of words.
Yeah.
Sneepy getting that first gold bolt, he's going to now use the rest of his Shock Ravager ammo to get to the top of this roof, where he's going to try and do a nice little clip here, gaining a bit of momentum as well if he hits it right. Oh, unfortunately, not getting it the first try. I don't know if this is going to work for him. There we go.
Oh,
he hits
there
the
it
seam.
is.
Hits the seam and just like you speed up massively. Izzy also entering Kortog. Who, you know, this is not a gigantic unassailable lead. Right?
It's not. It's looking good for Sneepy right now, and he is kind of proving that he was the favorite coming into this particular section. But of course, you know, we saw before that just because someone, what's that? I mean, the game can always hardlock. The game can always do things that no one ever expected. And also, I mean, we saw yesterday. Mukka was being hailed as the god of the arenas, and then he ended up dying, and that's why he lost.
Not only dying, but dying in the arena where everyone was just praising him for how well he'd done it. We've seen him perform amazingly in that arena, saving tens of seconds over people, and then that ended up being his Achilles heel in that particular game.
Izzy not quite getting the wall bounce there, unfortunately. And Sneep will be heading over to Fastoon now. You know, he's got a pretty comfortable lead here. If I'm Sneepy, I'm hoping, you know, get a quick little GGS. That's going to be the big one. But obviously, you know, he's still got a lot to do here. He wants to also make sure he's getting good RNG. I think Quarkanopolis has been everyone's favorite thus far.
Yeah, but Korkowski, dude. If you get a Korkowski, I don't think you can lose. I think it's law.
Yeah,
I
think it is actually unlosable if he gets Kwarkowski. So, you know, is he praying that Sneepy gets one of the other two?
For those who don't know what the hell we're talking about, you get, I think there are 3 different options when you get the message from Quark as his alias that he uses. And, yeah, in what's the 3 options? There's Korkowski, Quarkanopolis, and I think there's one other one.
I'm gonna say that the third one that I can't remember is gonna happen. Wait, did it already happen? It's gonna happen.
No, it happened. It happens here.
I'm gonna say it's gonna happen right here to Sneepy. We're gonna know what the third one is right now. Oh, Quark's a lot.
Quark's a lot. That's it, dude.
Oh, the reads.
Quark a lot. I mean, yeah, you did say it. I can't. You did say it. Yeah. So Fastoon picking up these flight components. But by far the most difficult flight component is coming up here, where you play as Clank. This section casually takes forever, let me just say. Like, oh, thank gosh this skip exists. I think there was another strat before GGS where, unless I'm mistaken, you used, like, some other method of gaining, like, some height, and you, like, went around the terrain a little bit. It took a little bit. This skip, they're gonna... As Sneep's come now, he's looking for a very particular glide up this rock that he then tries to carry into the wall and then glides up.
Yeah.
You just glide up. I think he's got it here. Yeah, there you
go. Very fast GGS there. So for those of you... but misses the height.
Too soon.
And Izzy's still struggling here on Kortog. So Sneepy's, you know, he's got plenty of chances to try this again, but... that's rough in Izzy's shoes there. I mean, it's really rough. I don't know if either of them are too happy to be in the position that they're in right now. Sneepy's struggling with GGS. Izzy's struggling with this wall bounce.
I mean, they're playing Todd.
I wasn't going to say it, but...
All right, Sneep getting it again, hopefully this time. I think he may have held too far left, possibly, and so he didn't get all the way up to the top. But I'm no Todd runner, so I'll hold my expertise.
Yeah, so Izzy getting the low glide right there, which will save him some time, but obviously he's still operating at a pretty massive deficit and barely missing that.
No.
That is so brutal. Oh my goodness. But still landing. I mean, he's not dead, but he is going to have to get some more ammo.
I think he can just go what this intended
Oh,
quote
okay.
unquote way. I think it just cycles back up to the top unless I'm mistaken. But this is still this is a lot of time.
Yeah, this is rough. Of course, I was going to say before, GGS stands for Glitch Glide State. One of the most fascinating strats in all of TOD because no one has any clue why it works. Not even the TOD runners know why it works. They just know that it works. Not dissimilar to Quark Warp and Ouya.
I was gonna say yeah. Oh, and then Izzy
man.
after that, just yeah. It's these wall bounces are so precise. It looks like right. Okay, why every single time do I play Ouya, I get a wall bounce when I don't want one, and then in TOD it's just like the exact opposite. It's like you just cannot get these wall bounces.
It's because we create our own hells, yo, Andy. That's why. Our hells are created to suit our the punishments we need.
That's true. That explains why after like 25 minutes of practice, I still haven't gotten. Oh, is he taking another death? Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, honestly though,
Or falling again.
I do have to say, shout-outs to Izzy for trying this stuff. I mean, Izzy,
absolutely.
Izzy, as all you saw on his player card, I mean, he was coming into this with an hour-and-a-half PB, and he has been slowly, over the course of the entire tournament, implementing all the strats he possibly can to try to save up that time. And so, this is like the growing pains of being a newer runner to a lot of these strats. And unfortunately, and now again taking a death there, Sneepyy already on I'm just gonna call it Boron because I could call it Voron like it's
obviously,
but if Boron or Snoron or if you like to read a lot of SCP articles right before bed, Loron. If you like if you are a big fan of slasher films, Goron.
If you just really love it, like you just love the section, maybe Moron.
You know what? I'm gonna quit because I don't think it's gonna get any better than that. So
that's thanks for coming out, everybody. That's my magnum opus of today.
Oh my goodness! But yeah,
what I was gonna say was, I'd practice for like ages and just not be able to get chorus proxy. Sometimes there are some tricks in games that just wall you and you alone, and I think that's what you may have meant by like we kind of create our own hells, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, speedrunning's funny like that. It's tricks will work until they don't, and unfortunately, I mean, I'm sure Izzy's hit this many times in practice, but in the heat of the moment, things can change in a heartbeat. So, oh my God, look at Izzy getting all that.
Dude, strafing.
That was swag. Oh my goodness.
Dude. Honestly, Izzy, just load a file on our do list right now. Like, I don't care. You can take the win after that. Like, just go for it. Yeah, hold on, Zeb.
He's loading.
Zeb, just hide his speed for a second.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, we're having some technical difficulties here on RaC Champs. But yeah, so for those of you who don't know, this is what Sneepyy is currently going through is an auto-scroller, and it's the best kind of auto-scroller, an auto-scroller where you can't skip anything and you have to pay attention the entire time.
You cannot pick any locks.
You can't.
That is, like, not even one, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, well, if you're the lock-picking lawyer, maybe you have time for one.
Yeah, but if you're Onetabloid, you don't.
No, certainly not.
He takes a good 2 minutes, like often just like a tiny bit more than 2 minutes.
Andy, Tab is reminding us to say one particular piece of commentary. You haven't had the chance to say this yet. If you would like to say it, the honor is all yours. It's okay. Take your time. You'll get there.
I actually don't remember what it is.
Wait, do you happen to have the chat pulled up at the moment? Well, it's okay.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have it up, I'm not going to tell him what it is. Let's see if he can figure it out. That'll be the guessing game. If he can figure it out before the end of the run.
No, well, I didn't remember it, but I did see Tab's message, and unless
Unless what?
someone
Okay. I'm with you.
gets explosive diarrhea.
Okay. Okay.
I think this is Sneepy's race to lose. Smashed it.
That was, wow, stellar stuff. Congratulations, Yo
I'm
Andy.
just good. I'm just good.
Oh my
Don't worry about
goodness. While Sneepy is finishing up,
I think I was thinking so hard what it actually was. I wasn't just like messing around. I was like, I know there's something that you said. I was like, is it Dirty P? No, they're playing. No, we've done the comeback. Like, I couldn't think. Yeah, as you were saying, Sneepy finishing up the auto-scroller, just like...
yeah, sure, I got you. While Sneepy finishes up Boron, we have a $40 donation coming in from Grizzled Veteran 08 that says, loved the close race between Onetabloid and Mucka 2 days ago. That race made my day, and this is how I will say thank you to the runners. Also, that art for RaC Champs looks badass. Who made it again? Thank you to Grizzled Veteran. Your generosity is much appreciated. I appreciate it. Yo Andy appreciates it, maybe.
I do appreciate it.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. I would have been devastated.
Heart-stopping moment right there. You say Yo Andy appreciate it.
And of course, the runners certainly appreciate it as well. Thank you so much for that. To answer your question, everything that you see here, the layouts, the OBS Ninja feeds, all of this, everything you're seeing here today was set up by one person named Stack Design in the chat. Raf, if you were here, of course, not only is he a badass designer, he also has a badass first name. I always thought that Raphael was the coolest Ninja Turtle back in the day, and it's such a pleasure to be able to work with somebody who shares a name with that Ninja Turtle. So
Sneep taking a death here as well, and just to massive thanks to Raph for pulling this all off. But
yeah, let us not forget that Sneepy did fuck up. We can't forget that.
That's all I wanted to say. Go back to whatever you were talking about. Just Sneepy fucked up.
Yeah. So right now here he is on Muckau, and it's always so funny. Yesterday we had Mucka on Muckau. And so,
so funny, dude.
Yeah,
Gets me every time. Every time someone says Muckau, I'm thinking Muckemannen.
Andy, this is why we love having you on the mic here. Oh my god. Of course, Andy being 100% ironic, but I still think it. I don't know. You crack me up, Andy. You're fucking. There's something about just this dry British humor that I both love and despise at the same time. So thank you for that one. That, whew, I'm a little hot under the collar now.
Dude.
But yeah, so Sneepy finishing up here. You know, you saw him go past one of the gold bolts over there. I love that little strat right there. That's so swag. You high jump off the wing.
Perfect distance as well.
Yeah.
Perfect distance, perfect height. It just looks cool.
Yeah. So
we find it in Ouya, please, so I can play it in a good game. I mean, in a game that I play.
Andy, of course, you know, similar to how we were saying before that nobody hates the British more than the British. Nobody hates Ouya more than Ouya runners.
Absolutely.
So, you know, and it's like, it's our rite of passage. You know, you can try to dunk on Ouya, but no one will ever dunk on Ouya harder than the people who run it. So, channeling that same energy here. Sneepy going for the wall bounce that he messed up earlier, and now he's going to be heading into the arena. Did he drop it again?
Yeah, he's picking up the statue.
Oh, of course, that's very important.
Yeah. You need those statues to, I think, open a gate or something to get to the arena. So Sneepy just picking up that one there.
Yeah, you need them to enter the arena if you suck at this game, and so of course Sneepy had to pick that up because
you know Sneepy. Yeah.
And
dude, we've dunked on people way too much. This time.
I think this is exactly what people expected from this commentary duo, though. Let's be real.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, maybe they didn't expect that from me, but they should have certainly expected it from you.
Yeah, all right. In which case, I apologize, kind of, to people. Kind of.
Stevie taking a second to write the most important message that he's written all day in Comic Sans. Can we get a fuck Andrew Wimbury in the chat?
Who's that?
I don't know who that is either. I feel like he is trying to like assail somebody. I don't know who that is though. I know no Andrew Wimberley.
It's someone's full name.
Yeah.
So
the only people I know with the name Andy are at Shoe on Head. So
I don't know. Maybe you can tell us in the interview after the game, which I'm expecting bar like 7 hard locks.
yeah.
We did see Izzy for a moment try going the casual way, but choosing instead to go back to GGS.
I think this is a wise decision, honestly. I mean, like, even if
The
it takes
casual
Izzy a
way
bit.
just takes so long.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what Izzy's like at GGS. I don't imagine it's his strongest aspect of this game, based on what we've seen in the tournament so far from Izzy. But by that, I mean it on GGS. I think he's been having some trouble with it in his previous games as well that he's got here.
Yeah, so going for it, elects, you know, when it comes to Clank sections in general, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
He hates those, doesn't he?
Yeah, so I think at this point now, Izzy proverbially just taking a second, kind of cooling off a little bit here, pushing the Zony around. Of course, you know, I like to call them gay babies because whenever I play a Crack in Time, you have the little gay baby jail you shove them into. So,
is that where that comes from?
Well, is
that where you saying that on your stream comes from?
Kinda, yeah. That's like one of the first times I did it. Was like
I just thought you were like just dumb. Like I don't know. I just thought you just came up with something that sounded stupid.
Well, the two are not mutually exclusive.
That's very true. Actually, that's
so.
I shouldn't have doubted my first thought. You're right.
Sneepy finishing a mook out here. Moving on now to
Sorry, I just wanted to get you again.
The actual area is called Apogee. What is the name of this? Nundak.
Nundak.
I remembered it. I didn't need to see. I swear, I didn't need to see. I had my eyes closed. I wasn't looking. I remember it with my superior brain. I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb. But Sneepy now here coming over to Nundak, ready to do some high jumps off the wings. You may be thinking there's got to be some sort of like cool thing he's doing there to get that momentum off of the ship. He's literally just high jumping. That's all he's doing there.
Do you hold neutral as well? Am I right in saying?
Probably. I mean, you probably have to be neutral. I mean, I remember doing this literally first try, the first time I ever did it. And so
okay.
I think anybody could realistically do it as long as they're just high jumping off of that thing. So
you could do it too.
You
could be a Todd runner.
You could be in the next RaC champs, maybe. Sitting at home.
Yeah. Just to bring this back, I mean, Izzy is, I think, has said this before as well, is the exact architect of that. It's like Izzy just hasn't really had much Ratchet running experience and just thought, this would be a cool thing for me to try and get into. Had never touched Todd, has never touched Size Matters, as a lot of these guys had. So even though we're kind of joking, we mean it. Anyone can take part in these tournaments.
Yeah.
Right? Like and I think if there are tournaments to come in the future, maybe, I think it's going to follow a similar idea where we're going to try and make it very accessible for everyone to take part in.
Yeah. At the very least,
your eyes out.
I think the thesis, the mission statement of RaC Champs is at the very least to get as many people involved as we can. Yeah. Leave options.
Sneepy actually getting that bounce, by the way.
Yeah, he got everything super fast here.
Yeah, I just want to bring it back just before we keep talking about this. That Sneep has played a really solid Todd. This is going to end up being a 29 or so, something like that, maybe a 30. This is really, really.
Oh no, Sneepy not getting the.
I was talking, Sneep. Can you Caster's curse I'm just disappointed.
It doesn't just happen sometimes, Andrew. It happens every time.
Pulls up the same chat message. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Sneep.
But yeah, so Sneep probably not too terribly happy with this run considering how far off his PB it is. while runners are totally fine with performing to any reasonable amount of expectation, it is still sometimes a little disappointing to not always perform the way you feel you should. Still, Andy, not Andy, your Andy, Sneepy is about to close this out here in sub 30 fashion. In fact, I don't even know how long this takes. It might even be sub 29.
Yeah, looking like it's going to be a 29.
Oh, unless he messes up that wall bounce.
It's going to be close if he gets it now.
Still messing it up. Chokes the sub 29.
Yeah. Should honestly be really disappointed in himself.
Only had 3 shock Ravager ammo coming out of that. We'll see if it's good enough to even make it over here. It's going to be a little tricky. This could be GG right here, folks, and it looks like it's going to be. Sneepy is going to be the winner of this set. Congratulations to Sneepy.
Yeah, well done, Sneep.
And honestly, as well, a really great showing from Izzy. I mean, you know, really, truly showing that, like, I know it may seem like I'm not being facetious at all. I know it's only a 4-minute category, but Izzy played like extraordinarily well in all of his size matters runs. So I want to give a shout out to Izzy, even though he couldn't pick up any wins outside of size matters. And actually, no, he did beat Mucka in AGB.
Yeah.
So, you know, Izzy having I think, in my opinion, a fantastic tournament run given what was expected. So,
for sure.
Congratulations to both of these runners. Sneepy will, of course, be moving on. He's 2-0 now in his bracket. And Izzy, that'll be the end of his tournament run. So
finishing, I think, guaranteed 4th.
Guaranteed 4th. Guaranteed,
so
yeah.
Izzy is guaranteed 4th. Mucka is guaranteed 5th, I think, more or less, right?
Yes.
On 4 wins now? Yeah. So Mucka is guaranteed 5th, unfortunately, which means, God, these next 2 series, dude.
They're going to be big ones. They're going to be really, really big ones.
Huge. We have some huge games coming up. But Sneepy, you're with us? Hello?
What do you want?
Dan wants you to tell the Fortnite story of the time me and you played Fortnite. Dan,
I'm not telling it.
Maybe it's best if we keep it as a mystery, you know. People will be like, what's the Fortnite story? Because I think it's actually disappointing to have people know. Don't you think? I feel like it's something that's only funny for me and you.
No, inside jokes are the best kinds of things to put on commentary. Don't be ashamed.
No.
Okay. They will have shame.
Yeah.
We're British. Sneepy, how you feeling after that? After your win here?
I'm feeling like the golem clip is a really good trick.
What happened to me?
Sneepy, you started talking for 2 seconds, and Andy started phasing out of existence.
Yeah.
Does that make you happy?
I love that. I wish that would actually happen.
Yeah. So do I sometimes.
Oh my god!
just leave me alone. Just sleepy bee.
Oh my god! Holy moly!
Oh, no. I'm good.
So Sneepy, you're halfway through your gauntlet run now. You're 2-0, and you got Onetabloid tomorrow. How are you feeling coming up to Onetabloid? You feeling ready? You feeling good to go?
Yeah, I'm excited for like it's gonna be like kind of an off day because like I had 2 pretty good matchups today, and then I've got tomorrow, and then obviously I'm gonna have to play Scotto. Yeah, just lucky I can take a bit of a break for tomorrow. I'm not really too worried about it.
Yeah. I actually, this is kind of interesting. I'm going to put you on the spot here. I'm going to put Andy on the spot as well here. We can talk this out in the details later. If you win your match against Onetabloid tomorrow, you and Scott are guaranteed top 2. So if that is the case, we could honestly talk, because at that point, if you two wanted to play the final round robin for Pride, you're welcome to, but you two would just have to play each other again, like a day or 2 after. So we can talk about if there's any change in the format, but obviously we still have to get through Onetabloid first. Tab is going to try to do his best to play spoiler, because not only does he want to keep his own tournament chances alive, he will of course be wanting to tell you to proverbially and literally go fuck yourself. So are there any words you'd like to say to Onetabloid at this exact moment while we've got you here on the mic?
No.
Wow.
Okay.
That's possibly more brutal than actually
yeah.
insulting him.
I was gonna say, like, do you want to say anything to someone? No, I don't even want to talk to them. That is more brutal than telling them to go fuck themselves.
That's like when someone tries to like insult you and then you just pretend you don't know who they are.
Yeah. Well, Tab and I raced last night, so we've already got a pretty good idea of who's gonna win.
Would you like to tell us what the result of that race was?
We played 5 Todd races and I won 3 of them.
So you're coming into tomorrow at least the Todd favorite.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that is true. One-tabloid entry. Tab, what do you have to say?
I've got to come in here because we're just hearing some straight up fucking misinformation. We played 6 Todd races and I won 4 of them. Sneepy, you are getting clapped tomorrow, my friend. You're sitting here trying to be all cool, lying to everyone. I don't even know this guy. Your RaC one was embarrassing. Your Todd, subpar. Your size honestly pretty good, but it doesn't matter. You're getting absolutely clapped. I hope your anus is ready because I'm gonna tear it open. And now I'm done.
Okay, I disconnected Tab. I feel like he maybe got a little bit.
Yeah, he got a little
do,
out of
It's gonna be.
I
So
find
how
it
many
just
games?
kind of confusing. He thinks my AGB time was embarrassing, considering it's
Yeah.
better than 2 of his performances so far, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I
So,
think so.
it's strange.
I also think, as you said, you won what five of the 6 races you did, Sneep, or something like in Todd. So I think you're in the advantage there. So. And
Yep,
Tab's
5 of the 6 races.
Tab size matters.
If I'm actually going to tell the truth about the Todd races, I'm pretty sure 2 of the races he's counting as wins are just Cohen resets.
I think you might be right. I think from what I saw of your races, there was a lot of pandemonium going on. But anyway, no. I think all the next. So we have Tab versus Sneep, and then as you said, depending on the result of that, we very well could skip the Sneepy Scotto game, as that's just going to be a repeat of the final, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, the exact same thing will happen.
the exact same thing will happen, or we can skip the first version of it. So.
I'm
But
not
we
sure.
have to get through this Tab game first, and as Tab was saying, it's Sneepy's got to prepare himself because it's not going to be easy for either one of them. It really isn't.
I would say it's actually the most, like, on paper even matchup. Like, because normally the way that it's been going is that a lot of these runners are really, really good at, like, 1 or 2 categories. And usually they have, like, one category where they're maybe pretty good at, maybe not so great at. But, like, Tab and Sneepy, you both are strong at the same stuff. I would say, Sneepy, you have much more of an edge when it comes to size matters, should it come down to that. And I know that you currently do have the better Todd time. But overall, I mean, you're both extremely high level at RaC 1, and you're both around the same level in both of the other games. Well, size matters is literally like playing craps with speedrunning.
I mean, I'm around the same level as them, and
me too.
Yeah. Well, you have something run into you. Wow, really difficult game.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a ripper
game.
tomorrow for sure. Yeah. So Sneepy, you're coming in hot out of the gate. We said this was gonna be the Sneepy gauntlet. You're kind of showing that today. How does it feel knowing that you lost a game? You said you were gonna come in and sweep everybody. And
That's not what I meant. I was gonna win. I'm gonna sweep every set.
Sweep every set. That's not a sweep though. Do you understand what a sweep is?
Well, a sweep is like a thing you do with like things on the floor.
Oh, well, that's true.
That is a very clinical analysis, actually. We can't really debate that. You're still shit, though, because you lost a game. So,
Yeah, I got really outplayed. I don't know. Something happened, just
That size
couldn't
matters race, though, I think, personified how close some of these games have been, and how...
I'm just glad it was a good race.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly,
we both... I think it only took me, like, an extra try on the golem, and then I decided to race.
something like that, yeah.
Like, I think I even got the 3rd bolt faster.
Yeah, you
little
did.
bit.
You did.
You did.
definitely. You landed right on top
It
of
was a good
Izzy.
race. I think, is that the first good SM race we've
Yeah.
had?
That's what I was going to bring up, is that SM has very much been a kind of someone hits bird, someone doesn't hit bird, and that's great in its own right, because we have that as a category. We have that as a kind of, as I was talking about right at the start of this game, like these categories have moments, and SM has two brilliant ones. But
Yeah, they're pretty good.
yeah, it's a great game actually. You should play it. But yeah, I think it's good
What was
to see
even-
every now and then a race.
What was the
that kind of-
difference in the end?
4
So,
seconds.
like 10
4
seconds.
seconds.
4?
Yeah, something like that.
I love that game.
You'd have just been 4 seconds faster.
Yeah, you should have maybe just played.
Todd, put it that way.
You should have listened to when Flair Snaggleblast said that it could have been done 1 second faster. You should have just
And
done
then
that.
4 times.
Yeah, just do
Done
that
it
4
4
times.
times. Yeah.
So, just saying.
Thanks for that.
Of course, for those of you who don't know, we did have to replace. If you're wondering why we have a category as long as RaC 1 AGB and a category as short as Size Matters,
Yeah.
we originally had a longer category. We had going mobile Rhino percent. We have to collect all the titanium bolts and then beat the game. That would have been like in the 20-minute ballpark. Would have been a good way to round out the occasion. But unfortunately, it turns out no one knew this until this year, that all the emulators don't run at the same speed.
On different hardwares, like the same emulator, same settings, runs differently on different computers.
Yep.
It's
The better the setup, the slower it runs, I think we found.
Wait, is that
Yeah.
actually true?
I think so.
Yeah, because
That's what-
Mobius was
that's-
the one with the faster emulator.
Oh,
And Tab had the slowest
Oh!
one, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because IN. I was gonna say that doesn't. I was thinking about it in reverse because I was thinking, wait, that doesn't make any sense because IN
yeah.
has like a fucking powerhouse of a computer. But yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of funny. I want to try it out on my setup because I've got a pretty thick machine myself, so I want to see how slow I can run. But that's neither here nor there right now. Sneepy, tell me your thoughts. I'm trying to think of other interview questions to ask you because, we're kind of, I'd love to get your insight on some more things. So let me just ask you this. What happens when we die?
It's a
I'm
good
going on
one.
holiday, guys.
Andy chilling on the beach right now.
Yeah. I wanted to
What
get RaC on it.
happens when we die?
Yeah, what happens when we die, Sneepy?
You don't need to come back to me. When you interview me after my win tomorrow, I'll maybe have an answer.
Ah,
for you.
of course. Yeah, CB will
Um,
discover the true meaning of life when he smacks Onetabloid around in his own words. This
Yeah.
is also a pretty fantastic meaning of life. Dripless Tarna standing on a gaming chair.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, the other default option it gave me was this, so I kind of had to go with the Tana chair one.
Yeah.
So,
I do want to say, like, I think Izzy's been an incredible wild card this tournament. Winning even the race against Mucka, which I don't think he was the favorite to win.
I think if we were to take a look at Vegas odds coming into this, I think that Izzy would have been the biggest like would have had the worst odds,
certainly the least known runner.
Yeah.
I would
Also, they're clearly improving in Todd. I think they've made it further into the game every race so far.
Yeah. One of these days, Izzy will complete a Todd run, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Izzy will just
Maybe not.
say F you to everybody and never actually finish a Todd run and never get a better PB.
He has any
So.
sense he wouldn't run it after the tournament.
Yeah. I think I can think of 5 people who are never going to run Todd 10GB ever again after this tournament is over. But yeah, so Sneepy, thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure having you here. We love watching your gauntlet so far. Ever the sportsman as well, giving a shout out to his competitors after each race. So, big ups to you.
Senate wanted me to go to Velden. I'm sorry.
Andy's now chilling on Velden. By the way, I just want to pull up people's player cards here. Steve, I'm going to have you give some shout outs in a second here, but I do want to say, if you enjoyed the race today, make sure you go follow everybody's social medias. We got Sneepyy over here in the top left. We got Izzy over here in top right. Make sure you follow both of those Twitch channels. It's totally free. You can follow me on Twitter at Zem. Oh, wait. Why am I at Zem92? That's not even correct. I'm silly. Okay, wait. Hold on.
Oh, will it let me do GIFs? Oh, please let me do GIFs.
You can follow me on Twitter at Zemipoo.
You can only imagine the gift.
You can
tab GIF.
You can follow Yo Andy
tab GIF.
at Shoe on Head.
Just follow me on Twitch, Yo Andy. Just do that. Do that instead of like following some Twitter, some dog shit website on the internet. Go on Twitch.
Have you even
done.
seen Shoe on Head's Twitter account? You cannot say that that's dog shit.
Who the fuck is Shoe on Head? I don't know.
She's
Thank you all for the well-played Vohios.
She's the love of my life. She just doesn't know it yet. So, Sneepyy, would you like to give any final words, shout-outs, comments, criticisms?
Shouts to Onetabloid.
Okay.
He's a cool guy.
Okay.
Debatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got nothing left to say. As you said, I'm
hyped for the rest of the tournament. I'm sure this is the last time I'm going to be seeing Yo Andy, so that's something to be excited about.
That's true. That's true. I'm probably done now.
All right, it's about time we wrap up this shit show. Thank you.
I just added in the rule, by the way, that anyone called Sneepyy gets fucking disqualified right fucking now. So that's a shame. Good luck, Tab, in the final versus Scotto.
F's in the chat for Sneepyy. He has been barred from the rest of this tournament for insulting one of the tournament organizers.
Oh, fine.
I'd hate.
Can people stop sending me things to make the fucking background so I can like leave?
You're welcome to leave whenever you want.
Right. Well, I'm still here now. I'm gone. You can. Hold on. Let me turn off. I'm gone. You can leave.
You know, Andy, I gotta say, you've never looked better. Oh my goodness. Well, we're gonna get the hell out of here.
Every time.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I know. If you all are in the mood for some random offshoot content, I know Sneepy's gonna be happy about this one. I will be continuing my Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke challenge in just a few short minutes here, and by a few short minutes, I mean as soon as I transition out of this scene and open up my emulator. Sneepyy, been a pleasure to have you here. I was going to say, well, Yo Andy, I see you're still here. It's been a pleasure to have you on the mic. Yo Andy, do you have any shout-outs or any words of wisdom to pass on to the channel? No, I didn't think so.
He doesn't. Okay. He most certainly does not.
Okay. Well, anywho, well, we're seeing something. We're seeing like a phantom in his background here. All right. Well, I'm gonna transition out of this. Sneepyy, been a pleasure to have you here. Tell Andy I said thanks.
No.
Okay, well, I guess Andy will never know. All right. I'll talk to you later, Sneepyy.
Goodbye.
All right, and we are going to get out of here. Oh. There he is. Let's observe Yo Andy in his natural environment for just 2 short seconds. He can't hear us. He has no idea what's happening. He's about to unmute the stream and see that we're all observing him. He is the show right now. Yo, Andy, all eyes are on you right now. What are you? Oh, never mind.